Welcome to another episode of Disciple Men Podcast. This is episode 5. We've got a great conversation here for you today. We're going to talk about what it takes to grow boys to men. All right. Now, this is a really touchy subject for us because, again, we're trying to make sure that we as men are leading forward, and we want to make sure that the men coming behind us understand what's being called from them. So today we're going to have this conversation. I thank you all for joining me today. Let's get it popping. All right. So with the first question, I'm gonna bring this to you first, okay?
All right.
What does it mean, biblically and practically, to raise a boy into a man in today's culture?
That's a deep one.
All
That's
right.
real good. I mean, pretty much to sum it up is to literally have them rooted in Christ.
Okay.
To lead by example, to lead by humility, stuff like that. Lead as a good, example for our youth. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that's the problem. They don't really have great mentors anymore. I mean, what's on social media, YouTube, and things like that. I think with the social media and things now, that did open up for more mentors like ourselves. However, with the algorithms and things like that, sometimes the good stuff gets filtered out.
You get what you're searching for.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So they see different, craziness, whatnot, these crazy YouTubers doing all this and TikTok people, and they're leading by their example.
Gotcha.
And they need to lead by, godly example instead of the world's culture, pretty much. Not leading by the world's culture, but living by a Christ culture.
Okay. I like that, man.
Yep.
All right, Keith, give me that, bro.
Hey, let me start off with a scripture of Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart.
Yep.
So that means that we must live our life deliberately in a way that we're modeling as men of God.
Right.
We got to realize that this young man is learning not just to be a young man, but he's learning himself.
Yeah.
So we must stand back and understand that he's growing and he's learning just as we're learning him.
Yep.
We got to learn to be patient. You got to be patient with him. We got to learn to set aside time to sit down and communicate with him, talk to him.
Yeah.
Understand where his head is at. You got to learn to use all the assets that you have to guide him and lead them. Use that village.
Yeah.
Go back to old school. That's what we use. We use that village. Remember how to separate from being a parent from a friend. Let him know there's boundaries.
Yeah. I like that boundaries.
Yeah. Let him know there's boundaries, and don't be afraid to discipline. But when you discipline, be consistent. You have to be consistent, because if you're not consistent with your discipline, they won't believe what you're saying. You got to be godly first of all.
Gotcha.
So that child will love you whether you discipline him or not.
Yeah.
As long as you're a loving parent, you're good. Just show him that you love him.
Okay.
Tell him that you love him.
I like that.
It's true.
Some people may not even hear that, till later on in life from another man.
Yeah.
I love you. Respect.
Yep.
Billy,
Absolutely.
give me that, bro.
Yeah. Biblically and practically, in this society, it's very difficult, and it's going to have its challenges, because our culture, we tend to look on the outside, the outward appearance of the person, and we want to, kind of categorize or how that person is a young boy coming into a man.
Yeah.
And so we look at those particular aspects. But practically, we should be looking at the inward. It's just like what the Bible says.
Yeah.
It's an inside-out transformation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we're talking character traits of that young man. And that's why I learned a long time ago, I don't like to judge a book by its cover, if you will.
Yep.
And I'm talking any person or what have you. Because just because that person is a certain way or how they move or whatever the case.
Mhm.
I'm trying to find, as Pastor would always see, I'm trying to find Jesus
Mhm.
with that young man.
Mm-hmm.
But we, as this church, we should be trying to pull these young men in
Mhm.
and teach them godly ways, the
Amen.
Bible.
Amen.
Get them rooted and grounded in the Word of God.
Yes.
You know, those practical things, because that's what's going to last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, teaching them good character traits of what a young man's supposed to be.
Yep.
Because there is so much that's pulling at them right now. Imagine
Yeah.
all of us sitting here.
Mhm.
And I'm sure, Dion, you're probably the youngest on the panel.
Mhm.
And I think you and my second to the oldest were born probably the same year, around 89-ish.
Yep. 89.
Somewhere
Yep.
up in there.
Yep, that's it.
So raising a young boy in those times,
Yeah.
and in the early mid-90s, there was no internet.
Yep.
Mhm.
There was no social media, none of those outside influences that was pulling at them.
Exactly.
Dark
That's
ages.
good.
You know,
Yep.
and so
Yeah.
therefore, you know, we could really train these young men up. And one thing I used to always tell my boys when they were coming up, first of all, I didn't do a lot of whooping. That wasn't my thing. My wife took care of that. But I was
I don't think I done.
I
Yep.
talk. You know, I would talk to them, sit them all down just like we're sitting now. And even though this one haven't done anything,
Mm-hmm.
neither this one, it was this one over here that's done the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But we're all going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna get
So
that
we're
work.
Yep,
learning
yep,
from it.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So we're teaching them how to be young men and
Gotcha.
when we encounter certain situations and
Yep.
how we can do better next time.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what it's all about. And one thing I should always tell my sons, I'm not your friend.
Mhm.
Mhm,
And I think
exactly.
in today's society, oftentimes we want to be these kids' friends. We're
Yes.
not their friend. We're their parents.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
we're fathers.
Yes.
There's gonna come a time like all of my youngest
Mhm.
son, he'll be 33 next week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My oldest is 40. So I'm their friend now. It's a difference in relationship
Yes.
because they're all grown men, married, and
That's
got
right.
their own children, you know. And so that's the thing that we need to get back to.
That's
Okay.
very true. That's how,
Yeah.
just like, like you were saying with the social media thing, yeah, we didn't, our generation didn't have to. That's what I was saying about that. They have now an outside source. And just like we have discussed before and think past podcasts is that that's what this generation is dealing with now. I mean, that's the whole world is now
Yeah.
dealing with now
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
outside sources. It used to be just these, like say, if you had like crazy communities and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
it's just in that circle. That was
Yeah.
it. It didn't get out to the, internet and the world and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it stayed there.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of people's ideologies and whatnot, they're coming from online. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well,
Absolutely.
see, for me, I would say that we have to wrestle away
Mm.
the definition of man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think, especially in the last 5, 10, maybe even 15 years, we as men have allowed other people to define what a man is.
True.
Amen.
True.
Okay.
True.
There's so many things that are men now that it wasn't that when I was growing up.
Yeah.
There wasn't no man painting fingernails back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Like, I'm sorry.
There wasn't no man
Yeah.
carrying purses.
No.
It wasn't
Nope.
none of that. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yes.
At the end of the day, we as men have to define what men is, number
Mhm.
one, and number two, tell them what it is.
Yep.
And let them know that if anybody else is trying to tell you what a man is outside of what your father,
Mhm.
Mhm.
your uncle, your brother, your close confidant, this person who has your trust, your best interest in mind,
Yes.
if they're telling you something contrary to what I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
you believe me.
That's
Exactly.
it. That's
I don't
it.
care what everybody else is doing out
That's
there.
right.
You
That's it.
believe me
Yes.
because I don't need nothing from you. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to prepare you. I'm not doing something so that I get something back out of you later on.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So the words that I'm saying to you, you can take that as all love now because I want the best for you.
Yep.
But I'm going to define for you what a man is. I don't care
Yes.
what anybody else says.
Exactly.
And my word rules.
Yep.
Mhm.
There's
right.
no, well, dad said this,
Mhm.
but then this guy said this. No.
Yeah.
No.
We're not on the same level. One of
Yeah.
these things is not like the other.
Not right.
Okay?
Exactly.
I hold more weight,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and you will give me that respect. And not only that, you'll see it in me. You
Yeah,
see
man.
what I'm saying? You'll see me walk this thing
Walk that
out
walk.
that
Yep.
I'm showing you and telling you about. So not only do you get to hear me say it, you get to see me do it. Now when I hold the expectation for you, you
Mhm.
understand it. I'm holding you to the same level you hold yourself to.
Yeah.
That same standard.
Yep.
This is what a man is.
Exactly.
You will carry on the mantle of man after me in this manner.
Absolutely.
That's right. And a lot of people, just to clarify, what you were saying with the painting nails and things like that, they're like, well, this society does it and whatnot. And, I mean, that's really what it's like. I think I've said in the past podcast, that's what happened to Rome. It started taking on different non-masculine type of ideologies and whatnot. And it failed because nobody was reproducing and things, and it's mass chaos started happening.
A lot of things come out of
Right.
these decisions. This is just cracks.
Yeah.
There's too many cracks and the thing break.
Exactly.
I got you, man. That's good. I like how you brought that over there.
Yeah.
All right, so second question. Many boys are growing up without a father in the home. What unique challenges does this present, and how can we as Christian men step up as mentors and father figures to help bridge the gap? Now, Keith, I'm going to start with you on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First of all, we need to start with biblical principles that we were taught. Lead them with wisdom and love. Teach them how to open their eyes so they can see what this world is all about. Don't get drawn into this world, because this world will swallow you up and spit you out.
Yep.
Be a leader, not a follower.
True.
You'll suffer consequences that you don't need to, because I'm trying to teach you not to suffer the consequences of your actions from my wisdom, my knowledge of what I know, what I've seen, what I've been through.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to lead, how we have to lead them. That's how we have to guide them in this world today.
Okay. I like that answer.
It's true.
Billy, what you got?
Well, they're growing up without these fathers in the home, and it's definitely going to present certain unique challenges from psychological, emotional, identity, as we just spoke on, because they see so much that's pretty much normal now in today's society, where they've normalized it. And so therefore they're gonna have issues going on with this, even in their social development. You notice that a lot of young people today, they don't do a lot of talking, conversation, or whatever.
It's all done online.
Everything is text or, and things like that. We got to get back to, that. Talking, conversation, and things like that. I remember as a young boy, I'm always sitting with my uncle or my grandfather.
Too.
And you learn how to carry a conversation.
That's it.
And just talk. How to look a man in his eye and things like that. And, say what's on your mind in a, respectful way and things like that. And we've lost that. And we got to get back to that. Because a lot of the young men, they don't understand how to deal with the things that they're dealing with. Because they're so confused emotionally, psychologically. And these are the kind of things that make these young men, in my opinion, that have the anger issues, because they don't know how to express, what's going on, that anger, those emotions that they're feeling, and just how to deal with that. But we as men of God, we have to get back to teaching these young men these skills of how to deal with it, how to talk about. It's okay to be confused or scared or whatever it is you're dealing with. But be able to express it, in a way where now we can be mentors and role models to help them navigate how to deal with that situation.
It's true.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Deon, what you got on this, man?
Yeah. So pretty much, me and my wife were watching this. We like watching 600-Pound Life and shows like that. Yeah, I know, right? Everybody, all our friends always think we're funny and
I'm not
stuff.
gonna judge you, bro. Go ahead.
So they got this like teen version now,
Okay.
and I was just
Teen version,
Yes.
600 pounds.
Yes, it's literally. So it's
No
called
reason.
Wow.
1,200-pound life now.
Yo.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
gosh.
So it's called quarter ton teen. That's
Oh
what it's
my
called.
God.
Yeah, I know, right? Anyway,
I got nothing. Go ahead, bro.
That's-
I'm
anyway,
That's 500 pounds.
after
That's a lot of weight. Okay.
Anyway, so pretty much after I think we're in the second episode, and I mean this is just the second episode, and I'm noticing a pattern
Mhm.
of the father's not there,
Yeah.
and the mother she's there as present inside the child's life.
Sure.
However, with women, they're there to nurture. That's what they're there for. They're not there to just lay the law down and like you
Right.
can't do that. I've noticed that when their father figures are not around, they're not showing them what to do and
Yeah.
whatnot. It's just like, what are you doing? I think as men, that's like our duty for a person to not to have a father figure in their life, especially like we were saying in the community.
Mhm.
We should be there as a man to fill in that gap to
Yeah.
where a person don't have a father figure or don't even have a father in their lives and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I just noticed, like I'm saying in that show, that it's just it seems like there's a miscommunication or something like that with the fathers. They'll if they are there, it has a turmoil or whatnot, and it's affecting the child.
Right. So
Yeah.
It truly is.
disconnect.
Exactly. Yes, it's a disconnect, and that's what I'm noticing. Even in society, when you don't have that father figure around, it's a disconnect,
Yeah.
and the
Very
child
much so.
rebels or goes and does this, or in their case, they eat. Because there's no father figure in that area to fill that gap of being like, hey, you can't do this.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's
Provide that structure that they're
it-
probably lacking.
exactly. Very
Gotcha.
true.
That
Yep.
goes along exactly what I was talking about. No father figure in the house. And then mothers most of the time don't understand how to separate being a friend
Mhm.
to being a parent.
Yeah.
They think if they discipline that child or try to direct them in a certain way,
Yeah.
that they're going to lose that love because they try to discipline them. But
Sure.
like I said before, your children's going to love you as long as you're a decent person
Mhm.
and you're a loving parent.
Mhm.
You're trying to do the right thing. So that's probably what happened in them situation with them girls.
Yep.
Most of the time, it's probably young girls to get overweight because
Yeah.
they're so emotional about things.
Yep.
Mm.
And they let that get to them. They're stressed. So that's how they deal with stress. They just go eat.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then it was kind of I noticed too with the show, it was like a codependent thing with the mother and child.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Mm.
she's feeding the child because, I'm showing you love, or I'm, I want to keep you around or whatnot.
Yeah.
Right.
And the mother knows she's not doing right. She knows she's killing her child, but, it's not. And then on the second one, the guy had a father, but on the other end, later on at the end of the show, they got a divorce. The mother and father
Yeah.
got a divorce. So it
Mm.
was, see what I'm saying? It's just that disconnect, and it's crazy. It truly is.
Gotcha. I
Yeah.
gotcha. Well, the way I see it, we have to extend ourselves, okay? Because this ship is large, and we got to right the ship by slowly making changes to
Yeah.
turn this direction. You see what I'm saying? And I think from a church standpoint and from a men's standpoint, I think that starts with just speaking.
Yeah.
You see a young man, speak to him.
That's it.
Hey, what's
True.
going on, little
That's where it
man?
starts.
How you
Very
doing?
true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just interact. You would be surprised just how much interaction people are thirsting for
Yeah.
Mhm.
from a male figure that they respect.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that when that person does give them that attention, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Open up.
saying?
Yep. Let's open up.
They're doing things now that they wouldn't have done before because the person they respect, this man here,
Mhm.
asked them to, or says, and I think you can do better than this.
Yes.
I actually demand better out of you, man. You can do better than this
Exactly.
than what I'm seeing. And
Yep.
they're like, whoa, somebody's expecting more out of me.
Yep. Yep.
Well, let me straighten up my stuff. Let me
Yeah,
get myself
yeah.
together. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Be an
Exactly.
And then
example.
you pat them on the back. Like, hey,
Mhm.
man, I see you doing good, bro.
Yes.
But on the same side, you check them when they're wrong.
That's
Yep.
it.
That's right.
Because again, at the end of the day, they have to understand that you want the best for them, but I'm not gonna cheerlead no craziness.
Yeah.
All right. If you in the wrong, I'm gonna get you right because I want you to be right.
Yep.
And I want the best out of you, which also means I'm not gonna just say, hey, you're good all the time if you're not.
Yeah.
If you're getting out of pocket, I'm gonna be like, hey man, we need to talk about this.
Yep.
We need to talk about this. Let's see what we're gonna do to make this change.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like I want the best for you.
Yeah.
But you get to see that. These interactions we're having, you can trust that because it's not just word talk.
Right.
We're actually spending time.
Yep.
Even if it's just every time you see me, you give me a 5. You know what I'm saying? We dap up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That goes so far
It
for a person
does.
who
Yeah.
does not have that normally in their lives.
Absolutely.
That are like, hey, I just want to be around the church now just because brother so-and-so's
Don't give me
there.
some of that.
Deacon
That's it.
so-and-so
Yep.
was there.
Respects
You know what I'm
me.
saying?
Yeah.
And he's cool.
Yeah.
That may be the thing to get the whole family into the church.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
Because
true.
now the child wants to be there because
Yep.
they see somebody they can respect.
That's it.
You see what I'm saying?
That's it.
Very true.
But we as men have to model that in front of them
Got to model it.
and reach out a little bit. It
Yeah.
means getting out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But isn't that what God called us to do anyway?
That's it.
Absolutely.
Be disciples.
That's right.
He said, deny yourself first,
Mm-hmm.
pick up your cross,
Yep.
and follow me.
Follow.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't about you chilling all the time. I know you went and worked. That's
Mhm.
right. You a man. We supposed to work. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying?
Right.
I get you a little bit tired.
Yeah.
We get that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But you can find an hour. You can find 30 minutes.
Yep.
Reach out to somebody, send a text, send a
Mhm.
phone call,
Yep,
you know what I'm
call.
saying? Whatever.
Yeah.
And it's going to be life-changing for
Yep.
these young men who are needing this guidance.
Yes.
Yes.
Very true.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good deal.
That's
Good deal.
awesome. That's awesome.
So my third question. For those of you I'm trying it again. For those of you raised by single mothers or who have walked alongside single mothers, what are some of the ways the church can truly support them, not just in prayer, but in action? So it's kind of what we've already been touching on, but let's talk about some solutions. Because for me, I'm cool with naming what the problem is, but I'm more on what's the solutions going
What's
to
the
be.
solution?
Yep. So Billy, give me a solution. What's one thing we can do as a church, as men,
Man, that is an
to help that
awesome,
be better?
awesome question because that's the stuff that we're dealing with in today's society. When you, well, first of all, I was raised by a single mother up until probably the age of, I think my mom and dad divorced when I was probably about 4 or 5. And so I watched my mom raising young boys into men, while at the same time raising young daughters into young women. But thank God that my mom, you know, she was a Christian woman, and she was a member of this little Baptist church in our community, and my sisters still go to that church today. And the people were very, very supportive back then because the church and the community was truly a village
Yeah.
of raising children
That's what
back
we're
in
missing.
those times.
Yeah.
And I know times are different now. But that church was it was a staple in the community. That people that are dealing with life situations, crisis, whatever, you knew that you could go to the church. And it wasn't always the pastor, just like a minister just got through talking. It can be that brother right there or that deacon or whatever that has such a positive influence on your young son, you know, or sister so-and-so or evangelist so-and-so have such a positive influence on your daughter in a very positive way
Yeah.
to help you because it was a village.
Yeah.
And that church, they provided support, not just the prayers, but encouragement, and then sometimes financial support. You know, things like that because it was hard. You know, it's hard today for any young single mother
That's right.
raising
That's right.
a son, you know, or family, and so that's what it's all about. And on the flip side of that, we do live in a different time today. Because we have to be careful, you know, because if a person is very close or nice to your young boy or your young girl, everybody want to look at it as that's creepy and this and that. because that's what society has done to us. Now,
Yeah.
I get it. We still, as parents, got to be careful.
Yep. Be vigilant. Yep.
Got to be vigilant and
Discernment.
watching what's happening,
Yep.
discerning what's happening with our children. But we got to get back to some of those ways, man. We're so far removed from it. In most instances, people don't even want to correct or say anything to a particular child or
Yep.
whatever that may be doing something that they shouldn't be doing. But mom is not around, and you want to step in and, give some guidance there or whatever. But oftentimes, what do? We turn the other way.
Yeah.
That's not my issue.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get away from that.
Yep.
We got to get back to the basics, and we got to be those mentors, those role models, those things to help that young single mother out in the church.
Yep.
Especially in the church as well as the community.
Okay.
Very true.
Good. That's good, Deacon. Yeah, we got to be ready to intercede.
Yeah.
We got to be ready to intercede when there's not a father figure in the house. Be ready to give a single mother a hand up, not a handout, whenever possible. We got to be there, walk in what we speak and what we say.
Yeah.
Show them what a real man of God is. Because we're going to be a big influence if they're around us enough.
Yeah.
They're going to see us daily. They're going to watch us and see if we're making mistakes. We have to be careful all the time. I think we talked about that before, that someone's always ready for us to make a mistake.
Yep.
And the mother doesn't want somebody that's making them mistakes to be around their child. So like what he was saying, we have to be careful how we present ourselves to a child that needs a father figure around them. So
Yeah.
we're working on that now here. It's, starting with this podcast, we're talking about it.
Right.
We're also going to be about it because we're starting to be trying to do a
Absolutely.
mentor program and everything.
Definitely.
So I'm ready for that. There's a lot of young men out there that need a godly man in their life with some guidance, with some wisdom.
Yeah.
Some wisdom and show them love. Said as we was growing up, and I can't remember anyone telling me, as far as a man figure, that I love you. I had one uncle that he would always tell us that he loved us. So young men need to see that people love them, that men love them in a godly way.
Godly way.
We're not
Yes.
trying to be funny with them like
No.
that. We love them in godly. So we had to get out there, get out there on the court with them sometime, and maybe show them, say, hey, yeah, I'm a real man. This is the masculine part of me. Because you see me in a church door with a suit on or what have you, and that stigmatism of what godly men are like in a lot of cases, it's just, something wrong with them, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm
And that's also
100% man.
Yeah.
100% man. So, they need to know that. They need to know we can get down in the dirt with them if we need to.
Absolutely.
And give them some wisdom when they need it. So,
I like that.
That's what I think as well. I think we need to make sure we really clarify that when it comes to masculinity of Christian man, because especially with all the, at least in the Catholic Church, them the priests and stuff touching, and and a average person outside of Christianity, they're just going to think, oh, Christians, the pastors and preachers and whatever priests touch each kids and stuff. And I think we need to really show that no, this is what a man is.
Right,
This is what we do. If you want to have your briefcase or what you call it, like sling things on you, the bags,
bag.
the man, like if I have that, I'm not he's weak, he's this and stuff.
Sir.
Yeah, I'm a man and I'm a godly man.
Yeah.
To get back to the question part, I think we just need to make sure that both are the single mom and the kids or kid have that father figure to be able to step in and to be able to show that trust of, hey, I'm good. I'm not on no funny stuff. I'm just here to support both of you guys, and monetary way, and also in your mental state. I'm sure the kids could be going through trauma. The mother could be going through trauma. That's what we have to be in that spot as a leader, as a man, to be able to be like, all right, this is what we're here to provide, and also we're here to help. You know,
Yeah.
we're not here to run you off or to be this crazy person or whatnot. And I think that also takes them also to be able to have discernment, and that definitely, especially from God, to be like, okay, they're not on no funny business. Let me accept this help. So
Yes.
they have to be open to that.
And I was going to actually just touch on that because for me, I see it as we need to have a conversation with these single mothers as well to
Yeah.
to understand. I don't mind helping out. I want the best for your son.
Mm.
But you got to change some things you're doing in the household
Right.
as
That's
well.
right.
Because
That's right.
this guy is doing these things because he's
Exactly.
allowed to do that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Or if I'm watching and I don't see certain structure that's around,
Mhm.
okay, we got to put some structure in place, but I need you to enforce that.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? I can't have, oh yeah, he'll do what he needs to do when he's around me because he knows I'm me.
I'm looking
And
at
you got to come a certain way when
Yep.
you're going to be around me, or there's going to be we're going to have a
problem.
conversation
Yep.
about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm going to win. Just to be
Yeah.
clear,
Right.
I'm a grown
yeah.
man. There's no faking this funk.
Exactly.
I'm a grown man up in here. You will respect me as that.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, he gives me that respect. He does what he needs to do when in my presence. But
Yeah,
immediately
absolutely.
once he leaves from me, now he's back to the other stuff he used to do.
And it happens.
Yes.
And I'm
It
like,
does.
this is where I need you to hold the line.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't mind working with you as a team, as the church, and you doing that, but you can't do what you used to do
Mm.
and then take our help
Yeah.
because they're going to be counterproductive.
Yeah.
Right.
And the person that's going to lose in that is
Yep.
the boy.
It's the boy.
It is. Yeah.
He's not going to be prepared. And there's two places for unprepared young men,
Mm.
jail and the cemetery.
Yep.
Mhm.
There is.
Jail and the cemetery.
Yep.
And I have friends and I have family members that have been in both places.
Mm.
So I'm saying I've seen it touch my own personal family,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I don't want to see that in somebody else's family as well, which is why I'm passionate about this thing.
Yep.
That's why we're having these conversations. You all are part of this, wanting to be about the change,
Yeah.
but that change has to happen in their household as well.
Absolutely.
And with them being the head over the household at that moment with them,
Yep.
they got to keep that whole thing moving
Yes.
when they're away from us
Yep.
so they don't undo what we've been sowing
Yep.
into
Put
them.
into it.
Absolutely. And that's what the church should be about. Our pastors come to us, several of us, and we want to do something about the situations that's going on across the city
Yes.
Mhm.
when it comes to single mothers and what can we do as men
Yeah.
to help those single mothers
Mhm.
with their young boys,
Mhm.
raising those young boys to be men.
Yep.
And I think it's going to have to start with a conversation
Yeah.
with the women present,
Mm.
just like Minister Antonio just laid out.
Yeah.
It needs to be some kind of forum.
Yep.
And we talk to those women about these things,
hmm
Yeah.
that there should be some boundaries and
Yep.
things like that.
Yes.
And to be accepting and willing to let's go through this process.
Yes.
And they got to be able to trust us that, hey, look, when I'm talking with your young son, it's all love.
Mhm. Right.
I'm gonna discipline, not physically or anything, but what
Yep.
I mean is I'm gonna
Correction.
correct,
Correct.
Mhm.
Yep.
and I'm going to train, mentor. I'm gonna do all those things just like a father
Yeah.
should be doing.
Yeah.
But those women are definitely gonna have to be accepting,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
and at the same time, they're gonna have to, when they're home, when we're not around,
Yep.
hmm
they're gonna have to also
Keep
hold
it
that
going.
line.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hold that line. Because what good is it that a young man is at school out there in the community and, oh, yeah, I go to church, I go to such a church,
hmm
but it don't show in their character,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
So that's where we need to make that impact.
Yeah.
That's a godly man right there. That school teacher should be able to see that
Mhm.
something different
Yep,
with that
something
kid
different.
right there.
Yes.
Exactly.
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 Absolutely.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good.
I mean, that's like what we're dealing with right now with downtown. I don't know if you guys seen that.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
the mayor had to have a curfew.
Yep,
And
shut it
then
down at a
now
certain time.
and now he's
Crackdown.
actually made it to where if you get the don't have your child.
Second.
Yeah, it's I think it's a
Fine.
$1,500 fine. Yeah.
$1,500 fine.
Yep. So it's like, why do we have to, as a society,
Right.
get to that point?
That point.
That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. You're technically being the parent, without being the parent.
Well, I mean, if you really look at it, what it is that a lot of times these parents didn't plan on being parents.
True.
Sure did.
All right. So these are life choices, and you want to live a certain way, and a baby got born.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you was probably still young, trying to run around and do young people things.
That's true.
And now you got a baby. I'm gonna keep doing that anyway, right?
Yeah.
But now we gonna grow up together, basically.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
What's
some of the
going
same
on.
things they doing,
Yep.
you think you could still do, because really y'all kind of close in age.
Close in age.
You see what I'm
Babies
saying?
having babies.
Babies raising babies.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
They're still trying to live their life per se,
Yep. Yep.
and not seeing that your life stopped once you had a
So
kid.
Yep. You got a
Absolutely.
whole
It's
other
a
responsibility.
responsibility now. So
Yes.
your stuff goes on the back burner because this person comes first. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yep.
And with them not doing that, that's why these kids is acting buck wild,
Yeah.
doing what they want to do.
Yep.
And that's why, again, I say it takes a village.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Why do you think most grandparents, I'm a proud grandparent,
Amen.
and I think I did a pretty good job, my wife and I, raising our children.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? I think I'm a better grandparent than I was a parent.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we were young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My oldest son can tell you, it was trial and error, man.
Oh, that's why I laugh.
You
Like,
know,
boy, to be
he wrote the
grandparents,
book
I'm
now.
like, who is
Right.
this guy? I know
Because-
this guy's the father.
Right.
He's a different dude as granddaddy now.
That's-
What's something
typical.
different?
My
That's
oldest was telling
Yeah.
us, man, you guys have changed. When I was coming up,
See?
wow.
Right.
See?
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
but we're older.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
wiser.
Yep.
We're more mature. We
Have more patience.
We got
Yep.
more patience.
Yep.
All of those things. But it takes that village because we're the grandmothers.
Mm-hmm.
We're the grandfathers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you know, to help those young women,
Yeah,
those
that's
young
true.
men
Yeah.
or whatever. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Because like you say, I look at my birth certificate. I don't know how often y'all look at your birth certificate.
Not much.
Yeah.
Not much, sir.
When I was born, got my mom and dad on there. My mom was 21.
Mhm.
Now keep in mind, my oldest brother, he's 4 years older than me.
Mm.
Mm.
So do the math.
That's typical.
That means that when my mom got married and had my oldest brother,
She was 17.
my dad is 1 year older than my mom.
Mhm.
My dad was 18.
Yep. 18.
My mom was 17.
Yep.
Mhm.
So they were practically children.
Yeah.
Now it was a
Kids,
different
yeah.
time back then.
Mhm.
Sure.
But that's
Still.
why those grandparents were solid in the
Yeah.
kids' lives. Where
Yeah.
are the grandparents?
Yeah.
But the problem with the grandparents today, the grandparents is what Bernie Mac would say,
They-
my grandmama 35.
Yep. That's what I was just about to say. They're
You
still
know,
Grandma 45.
young themselves.
And they're still young.
50
Yeah.
they doing- yeah.
So it takes a village.
Yeah, yeah.
Agree.
And
Agree.
there's a conversation that needs to be had about the control that the young women have over the situation. I'm not faulting them, I'm not blaming them, but I'm saying that they have more control than they're showing. They can raise the standards
Yeah.
of what a young man needs to have when he comes in life.
Oh, definitely.
Because if she don't raise that standard, what she's getting, because they gonna lay down in the bed together, what he was doing before,
Mhm.
he's gonna keep on doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you raise your standards, first of all, get in a place where you can get the word
Mhm.
and get an understanding of the word, and to help you raise that standard, and the women of the church also guide you and lead you,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
they can rate. They got a lot of control over that whole situation.
Yeah.
All they got to say is no, but they got some changes to do on themselves too.
Definitely.
But they can change them young men and say, okay, I'm not accepting it. And I'm not talking about because he's not 6 foot, 6 pack, 6 figures. I'm talking about, it's okay if he don't put a belt on and let it spin. But where's he going? What is he doing?
Yeah.
If he's
Yep.
working a job and he's trying to be responsible in his regular everyday life before he lays with her and have this child,
Yeah.
more likely he's gonna take it to another level because now he's got a responsibility of a child that he's bringing into the world.
Yep.
And that's what I was talking about earlier about this being a big ship.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to take small movements to right the ship.
Mhm.
We talked about what we needed to do with the young men,
Mhm.
right? And we're talking about also with the younger men who are coming up, how we need to deal with them as well, so that they're moving in the right direction as
Right.
well,
Yeah.
and also with the mothers as well. I would say ladies, because I'd rather you be wise before you become mothers.
Mm.
A whole nother conversation with that one. But what I'm saying is that when they are raising that standard and saying that you have to have an investment
Yep.
in me
Mm.
for me to be able to accept seed from you,
Yep.
Mhm.
that becomes different.
Yeah.
And that base can better raise a kid because they actually wanted that kid
Mhm.
versus these are just acts of passion
Yep.
and just
Right.
And lust.
passing time.
Yep.
And we just happened to, we were in a situationship in the first place. We weren't even in a relationship
Relationship.
at all,
Situation.
you know?
Yes.
I like that
Situation.
And
situation.
so it's like,
It is,
and then you look at the guy, like, well, the guy's not around.
Yep.
He wasn't there in the first place.
Yeah.
Y'all
Right.
was just
He
smashing.
didn't want to be.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Y'all didn't have
Exactly.
that type of thing. And,
Yep.
and now you want him to hold and be the father he's
Mhm.
supposed to be.
Exactly.
He wasn't the boyfriend he
Yeah,
was
he wasn't
supposed to have been. He
yeah.
wasn't the husband he should have been.
Yeah.
Now you expect him to be the father. It's
Yep.
like, so you're right. It's the choosing thing that comes along with it. Everybody has a part we have to play to make this thing right. And like I say, as long as everybody's playing their part, this will change.
Yep.
Yeah.
This will take time to change.
Take time.
Yep.
But
It will.
I believe with us diligently putting our hand into it as men from the church, we're going to help right the ship.
Right.
Very true.
Every situation is different.
Yes,
Yep, it
indeed.
is.
Yes, indeed. So going to our next question here. How can we as men model what godly masculinity looks like for boys who are being discipled by the world and not the word?
Mhm.
Okay? We'll get that to you first.
Yeah. So for us to model ourselves, we need to be literally, like we were saying, a shadow, or I like saying a mirror of Christ.
Mhm.
That's what they should be able to see.
Yeah.
Literally, you, this single mom or this child or whatnot is coming in wherever there's at church or whatever, he should be able to see like he acts different other
Mhm.
than how the world is acting and stuff like that. We need to be a role model in that area. We also need to just show compassion for them, for that way
Yeah.
they can be open
Mm-hmm.
for us to be able to be role models. We also need to also show that we have healthy marriages and
Yeah.
whatnot. I mean, I know every person don't have a lot of discernment, but they can see if there's smoke, it might be fire somewhere.
Yeah.
They can see how the interactions are with their wives or whatnot.
Sure.
And also just showing how a healthy relationship is. That's even before marriage or whatnot. Not having sex before marriage and all that type of stuff. We need to have that, for that way we won't have these situationships, like we were saying.
Right.
Yeah.
If we would practice abstinence, or however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Abstinence.
Abstinence. Thank you for clarifying.
Gotcha.
If we were to practice that more, we wouldn't have these situationships.
Sure.
We would be more of a society where we wouldn't have that type of situation. So I know things happen. We ain't perfect, you know what I'm saying? We ain't none of us perfect.
Right.
But if we can just practice that more, we would be good. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Billy, I'm going to swing it to you, man. What do you think on this topic?
The first thing is that we need to be role models.
Mhm.
We got to lead by example. That's the key. We got to lead by example, because you can talk that talk,
Yep.
but you got to walk that walk too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that you're your best version of yourself each and every day in all situations. I don't care if you're out at the grocery store,
Yep.
because you just never know who's watching you.
Yep.
And somebody always is.
Somebody
They're always watching.
always.
Yep.
Mhm.
And one thing I learned when I was in the military, I was drill sergeant, and they trained us that when I was in drill sergeant school, they say, when you pull into the parking lot every morning for work,
Mhm.
when your feet step out of the car, you should act as if
Yep.
you're being videotaped all day
Uh-huh.
until you get back in
Yep,
that
till you get
car
back in
That's
the car.
good.
Yep.
and heading on home.
That's good.
Very true.
And so therefore, you're going to model your behavior, because you're going to be doing all the right things.
Yep.
Even when nobody is looking,
Mhm.
you're saying the right things, because people are watching.
Yes.
So we should be role models. We should have those, attributes about us that young person, that young man want to aspire to be like.
Uh-huh.
Because you're something different
Yep.
than what he sees at
Mhm.
home or in his community
Yeah.
or what have you. And so we should also, as Christians, we should model that Christ-like behavior.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and I got a nephew, and he's like my son. But when he was young, he would always come and visit us, and he'll end up staying the whole summer, all the way up until he was 16. And that's when his mom, my wife's twin sister, said, "That's it, buddy. You're getting a job now. You can't hang out with Uncle Billy and the boys this summer or whatever." But watching him grow up, and him watching as I'm raising my 4 sons, and I didn't treat him any different.
Yeah.
I treated him just like he was one of them,
Yeah.
instilling the same values and things like that, I mean, or whatever the case, showing him what, true masculinity is, what
Yeah.
a man does. He watched how I move around my house, and things like that, how I interact with my wife.
Yep.
How we just love each other, and
Yes.
how we, throughout the day or whatever, we may kiss and we may, whatever, I may slap her on the butt, whatever. as she- Little things like that.
Wait a
Just
minute,
showing
wait a
that, that I'm not cursing my wife out and calling her names and things that a lot of kids across the city may see in their homes.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yep.
And he asked me one day, out of curiosity, we was getting ready to go to Walmart, and I said, "I'm going to get me an oil change, man." And as we driving, he had this peculiar look on his face. He said, "Uncle Billy, can I ask you something?" I said, "Yeah, man, what's up?" He say, "Why are you taking your car to Walmart to get an oil change?" I said, "Well, why not?"
Yeah.
He said, "Well, the reason I asked because all the men in my town," he lived in Mississippi. He say, "Those guys, I see them, they'll pull the car out in the driveway and they do their own oil change and this and that or whatever." I said, "Well, check this out, man." I said, "And there's nothing wrong with that."
Yep.
I said, "But each man is different." I said, "God has blessed us with so many different skills and gifts and talents or whatever." I said, "I grew up in the same environment that those men grew up in." I said, "But I left home at a early age, 18, went off into the military. I learned a lot of different things." And I say, those men are blessed with certain skills. I'm blessed with certain skills.
Yes.
I say, those guys are good with their hands, and they enjoy doing that kind of thing. I said, I don't like
Yep,
doing
you don't
that.
enjoy it. Yeah.
I said, you put some numbers in front of me and this and that or whatever, you need your taxes done or what,
Right.
you know.
I knocked that
I
part
said,
out.
because I say, if I go out there and change my oil, first of all, I'm probably going to make a mess. I'm going to bust up my knuckles and everything else or whatever. I know how to do it. It's just, I don't want to get out there doing that.
Yep.
I got to buy the pan where, you got to let the oil, then I got to go and dispose of it, to some place, turn it in. They may charge me another fee. I said, but check this out. I say, they got to go buy the oil. So they're going to need about 5 quarts, right? How much is each quart?
6,
You
at
know,
least.
Yep.
I say they got to buy a
V6s.
new filter. And if they don't have that tool to take that filter off and all that, I say, I'm going to take this bad boy to Walmart. And what it costs to buy all them things, that's probably going to be what they charge me. And I said, so while we're in Walmart shopping,
Getting it
and
working.
getting the thing, they're
Spending some
taking
more
care of my
money.
car. It's going to be ready in about 30 minutes. And it's going to come over the intercom, "Mr. Partee, your car is ready." And I said, it was done by an ASC certified mechanic. So if he messed it up or whatever, the company's responsible for it.
Yeah.
But if I go out there and bust it up, whatever, that's on me. I got to figure that out.
It's
a wrap.
So we got to definitely be role models to these young men, in word and in deed.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's why, role models and like, how with me and Brother Keith, we liking doing that type of stuff.
Oh, ain't no doubt
And that's
about
why, and that's why it should be, if we're thinking of, oh, I'm a man, so we should teach him how to change a tire and do this and how to fight. It's different things too. What about your budget? Oh, so you know how to fight? You know how to change a tire? You know how to do all this, but you ain't good with your money.
No,
I know, right?
That's a survival tactic
Exactly.
too. And that's what we're going to be teaching as well. Finances, all that. You know what I'm saying? Health. oh, I can fight, do all this stuff, but I'm out of shape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so all that we should be a mentor into teaching these young men and boys into this when it comes to that. So yeah, I like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I agree with both of these guys. I mean, I'm a little different than Billy, Deacon Billy, but I show young men that I'm a God-fearing man, that I'm serving God daily in my walk, at work, and like you said, you got to pretend that you've been videoed all the time.
Yeah.
For me, I come into church, and I love my wife.
Yeah.
I put my arm around her in church. That's may seem old school to some people, but that's just what I like to do.
Yep.
I don't always do it, but if I'm sitting there and we comfortable listen to the word, I'm gonna put my arms around my wife. And that's an attribute of a godly man.
Yeah.
That's what he do. Not everybody does that.
Yeah.
More of a, like I said before, that's sort of old school. I want young men to see that, man, that's not something that I shouldn't do. I should, if I got a wife or a significant other, I should show I love her. That's part of being a godly man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, and the masculinity part of it, I also show them, like Brother here said, I get in the thick of it. I change my own oil. That's because it's something I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
When I do things like that, it gives me some gratitude that I didn't go pay somebody else to do it.
Sure.
It may cost me a 6 quarts of oil, a oil filter, air filter. I'm not going to bust my knuckles up because I got the right tools and everything.
That's called wisdom, right?
And if you put that filter on right, you should be able to take it off by hand. You should have to do that, but some people don't know how to do that. But you know, that's where some people like do. My son's that way. He said, I'd rather work and make my money and relax and pay somebody to do it. I just don't do that.
Yep.
If I can do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
If I can't do it and I have somebody come to my house to see about it, to do it, they won't come back anymore.
Yeah, I'm
if
about to
it's
learn
something
it.
that I can do
Watch
because
it.
they didn't show me.
Watch it. Yep.
Or I'll go to YouTube video, whatever. That's just a masculinity part of me.
Absolutely.
Sure.
I like to work out. I mean, I'm not a ball player unless it's football or baseball. I'll play that. So don't forget, you know, I'm out there. I love the workout.
Yeah.
I love the roller skates. We do activities as men. You know,
Right.
don't get us wrong. We do
Right.
that to bond.
Yep.
The other two, increase our knowledge about God because we're doing a spiritual thing. We're doing a spiritual walk.
Yeah.
We don't just do inside these walls. We go
Right.
out. We may
Right.
go out and have a bite to eat. We may go out and choose a ball. We may go to a baseball game, a football game, basketball game, whatever. But we're still men of God.
Yeah.
And
right.
you know, it's not that you once you start serving God, you can't do these activities.
Come on, man.
Some of the
right.
things people we may participate in activities that some people may consider worldly, but you know we still keep our integrity as men of God.
Absolutely.
So we just got to let young people know that.
Yes.
You see what we're doing. We do this, but we still come in here and worship God on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We worship God on Sunday. We have, you know, for me, I'm on prayer on Thursday and Bible study on, prayer on Tuesday and Bible study on Thursday. So, you know, and I get my word in when I can.
Yeah.
I like to relax and meditate while I work out. You know, them spiritual releases for me.
Yeah.
As simple as that. So, them are things you can do.
And I was thinking the exact same thing that you're saying. At the end of the day, I need you to know I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right? I am a Christian. I am a believer, right? In God, not the other things out here, right?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I'm actually able to do more that I like to do than what I'm limited to of what I can't do as a Christian. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I believe we need to be doing is let them know that, hey, it's actually dope on this side.
Yep.
Amen.
Absolutely.
I found that when I understood what was asked of me from a biblical standpoint, it made me get serious about, okay, well, I need to bone up on some of these skills. I need to get myself together because I'm looked at as the head of the household.
Yeah.
Let me make sure
You
I
are.
got some answers for some things that are coming up. I'm making some plans on some things. And you know what? Working hard and having good work ethic, it actually is dope.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
there are positive things that come out of you applying biblical principles to your life on a daily basis.
Yes.
And guess what? I'm still dope.
That's it.
So
That's
you
right.
can be the same way. You don't have to be stuffy and be a
Absolutely.
Christian.
Yep.
I'm just as real as me not being a Christian.
That's
Just
right.
now I'm a better man
Yep.
with this.
Absolutely.
And you can be that too,
That's right.
watching me do what I do.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
want you to think now I got to walk a certain way and talk a certain way. What I'll say is this. The more you grow in your relationship with God, the less you want to do certain things.
Mhm.
Yep.
You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
absolutely.
So it's
Yep.
not that I can't cut somebody out. I mean,
Exactly.
I haven't forgot how to do
Yep,
that.
that's it.
You
That's
see what
one
I'm
way to
saying?
wear it.
Watch out now.
But it's
Yep.
like I don't
You
want
choose
to
not
live
to.
that
Don't
way.
want to.
You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I know there's better ways to do things. And I
right.
know that I represent Christ when I'm out here walking the streets.
That's it.
Mhm.
So even though I still got that monster inside of me,
Yep.
and if need be, he can come out.
Mhm.
But I also know I represent Christ. So I
right.
can't just be wilding out.
Yep.
And then I'm on the news
Yeah.
and they talk about this man did X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
Isn't that Brother Storms from the church?
He turned into
Come
the
on,
Incredible
man.
Hulk.
Yeah.
And I'm up here disrespecting God. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Disrespecting the family.
Mhm.
But what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is that I believe we as men of the church, being our authentic selves,
Yeah.
Mhm.
are able to show the light of God through our activities,
Yep.
through our words and the things that we do. And that will be a draw for people who may see a model of what's out in the world
Mhm.
and then contrast that against us and be like, you know, that actually is kind of cool.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I see this picture on TV,
Mhm.
right? But I know this person in real life.
Yeah.
Let me see what he's doing over here.
Mhm.
And that may
Exactly.
be the thing to pull him out of that worldly view and more to a biblical view.
Yep. That's right.
Absolutely.
And that's I love that because we need to make sure we see our people from the outside see that, oh, being a Christian is dope.
Yeah.
And God didn't they think this is, it's this benevolent ruler in the sky and made these evil rules.
Mhm.
He made those rules because there's order to that.
Yeah.
The sex before marriage, that's not an order. Now you're out of order. Now you got these
Yeah.
situationships. Now you
Mhm.
got all these problems and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
All
I
kind of
understand
problems.
that, marriage may come with that too. However, if you are literally sifting through your soon-to-be wife or whatnot, checking the boxes. Oh, is she this? Is she this?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Is she, a God-fearing woman? Oh yeah. This is cool. It
Yeah.
will be ordained. It will be God ordained, and you will see like, oh, this is dope. And like saying that, we still do different things. I like
Yeah.
cars. I listen to music
it.
still.
Yeah.
All that don't have to end. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we're all growing to be like Christ.
Christ,
yeah.
That's not the thing. We don't be like, okay, I was baptized. As soon as I came up, I'm Christ now. It doesn't work like that. It's
Right.
a process. Even in marriage, the same way. A lot of
Mhm.
people think this, Disney mentality, where as soon as y'all got married, everything's gonna be buttered, like just roses, and as people got to get out of their head, it's a process.
It's
a
a
whole
process.
relationship. A relationship with Christ is a process. A relationship with your loved one, relationship with your family is
Yeah.
a process.
And
So,
when you think about this culmination of what we all just talked about, man, that's a beautiful thing
yeah,
when a young man can see all the different role models
hmm
Mhm.
in the church. And they may not flock to everyone, but
Yep.
there's somebody
Yeah, it's
that's
gonna
going
be
to
somebody.
stand out to
Mhm.
him
Mhm.
that he's going to want to, okay, I like him. So
Mhm.
he's going to slide up under you.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Because he's
That's what it's
watching
gonna
and
do.
things
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
It's like what Deacon Keith just said, man. Deacon Keith is I call him a jack of all trades, but he's more
I
of a
don't know about
he's
being
more
a
of a
jack, but I'm
king.
a tradesman.
He's
That's
more.
what I am.
I mean, he can pretty much.
See, that's
He's
that
pretty much-
modesty right there.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
good with a lot of different things.
For sure.
Mhm.
For sure.
And I got a few things that I'm good at when it comes to my hands and all that. But just like you said, there's just so many other things that we all
Yep,
bring,
can bring in
Yeah.
to the
Yes.
table
That's
as a
what's dope.
community.
and everything because I'm not going to reach every young man.
That's
Mhm.
it.
But you may be able to reach that brother right there that
Right.
I can't reach
Right.
Each
because
one
he
teach
can
one.
relate to you.
Yep.
Exactly.
And that's why I try to be the same Billy
Yeah.
every time you see me.
Yep.
I'm gonna, I can be deep, but at
Mhm.
the same time, I can be the silliest person in the room and
That's
have
right.
fun. You're gonna know that, oh, that guy, yeah, I got degrees and all that, but at the
Mhm.
same time, guess what? I got a sense of humor.
Mhm.
I love sports. I love
Mhm.
my family,
See?
and I can talk on any subject You want to talk politics? Let's talk
Yep.
politics right now. And so those are the kind of things that's going to draw these young men
Yeah.
and let them know that we're not robots just
Yeah.
because we got saved. That
Soulless
we're,
people.
Right, soulless people.
Just don't play kickball with it, Billy. Don't play
He is
kickball with it.
competitive, boy. I tell you,
know I'm
right?
competitive.
Like, for real.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Nah,
You know I'm
for
gonna
me,
talk a
it's
little
the,
trash.
Oh, yeah.
The
horseshoes.
horseshoes. That's what I was about to
Yes.
say. Yeah.
That
turns into a
Competitive
whole
with
nother
horseshoes.
person. I don't know, man. It's scary, y'all.
That's
It's scary.
I mean, but that's what it's all about. You know,
I love
like,
it, though.
Yep.
I love
Exactly.
You got the side of you that, we're just not men of God. We like to do activities.
Yeah.
We like
We
to
get
have
down.
fun.
We get down.
Have that
You know,
competition.
if it gets too rough, we say, no, I'm not up with that. You know,
Right.
I'm just out here to have some fun.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed.
Make you a man today. Play these horseshoes.
All right, let's hit this next question up here then, man. All right, so what role should the local church play in equipping men to be spiritual fathers and not just biological ones? All right. So, Keith, I'm have you start that one off for me, man. That role of spiritual fathers.
Well, we got to be ready to mentor to men when they come in our presence. When men walk into that door and we're not familiar with them,
Yeah.
we got to teach them how to be godly, make sure they're getting the word as often as possible, show them love, guide them and give them mentorship. We must all surround them in a way that they see that this is a place for them to be. I don't know. There's a lot that goes into that. We just have to be on our toes all the time when men around that are trying to grow into spiritual, in their spiritual relationship with God. You got to be ready. You got to stay in contact with them.
Yep. Very true.
They're not here for some reason. We got to be ready to contact them and find out why. If they're having a situation, make sure that they know that we're looking out for them.
Yeah.
We got their back.
Yep. That's right.
I like that.
Yes.
See what you got, man.
So, I mean, I would just say with the men's podcast and our men's ministry, that the church can play a role. And we ain't the only one that has a podcast that can start one. Other churches can start this.
Sure.
I pray that this sparks something in other churches and even bigger churches to teach the real, and we'll say that, to teach the real and just to be a tool to be able to help these kids and stuff to grow and to be a man.
Yeah.
I think that's truly is a great benefit if the church has that, have youth ministries and stuff like that, to teach them like, hey, you can still be cool and be, like I said, you can be a kid, you can still be a Christian and be dope. You know what I'm saying? The world may seem like, oh, you lame, you do this, you got bondage, you got rules and whatnot. I have rules, but I'm not, like we were saying, a soulless person. You know what I'm saying? I'm still an individual. I'm still a human being at the end of the day. I have likes, I have dislikes and things like that. So with our podcast and with the men's ministries and stuff like that at churches, I think that would be a great tool for us to succeed in this world and to be able to take that and go out amongst, the world as well with that. So
Take it to the next level.
Yep,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Okay. Billy.
Wow, our church is a prime example, man, of how we should be equipping these men to be spiritual fathers, and not just biological fathers. Because, first of all, we have a lot, look around the room on a particular Sunday.
Yep.
We have a lot of single women, that's raising children.
Yeah.
Looking for husbands.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so the men of this church, that are married, guess what? We got our own kids, but at the same time, we can be those spiritual fathers to those young boys right there.
Exactly.
And, the spiritual father leading by example, inviting them out to the men's fellowship and things like that. We're going to introduce them to the new podcast.
Yeah.
But talking with them and just doing those little things.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes young people, they don't tend to be listening to you, but they're
Yeah,
listening.
they're listening. Yeah.
All the
Yep,
time.
yep.
They're listening.
Yep.
My oldest grandson, you may think he's not paying any attention,
Mhm.
but I guarantee you, he's like that photographic memory.
Mhm.
If you tell him or if you ask him, hey, what were we just talking about?
Yeah.
He can almost tell you verbatim.
Mm.
And it was like that when he first started school. The teachers thought he's not paying attention. But when they call upon him,
Mhm.
he's not going to be the one jumping up, just like on
Quiet
Horse
person.
Shack,
Yep.
on,
Exactly.
Arnold.
Welcome Back, Carter. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's not him. He just sit back. But when you call upon him,
Mhm.
he got the answer. He's ready for you.
Yeah.
And so we should be those spiritual fathers because, and we have men
Yep.
in our church that don't have children. Perfect prime example right there of
Yep.
how they can help in that process to become spiritual fathers
Yep.
and not just biological, because it's a village, man.
Yep. It
This
is.
church, our church, should be a village.
Yep.
And again, I believe we're going to have that conversation
Yeah.
one day. I'm sure
Yep.
we will set something up, and we can have that conversation with the women
Mhm.
and with the men here present, and we can get this process moving,
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
because this small church right here, we can make such a difference
Yeah.
in this community,
Yeah.
in this city,
Yeah.
in this state, man, and throughout the world,
Yeah.
And so that's what it's all about.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
So for me, I like to talk strategy
Mhm.
at the end of the day. Usually when a father is trying to grow in this way, they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, let me give you the playbook. Here's some devotionals I read that talked on these topics. Let me send these to you. Matter of fact, you got the Bible app on your device? Let me
Exactly.
send that to you. Here's how you can download that. Here's off the Android and the iPhone. I can
That's
get on
good.
both platforms. You see
That's
what I'm
good.
saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not just that. I'm gonna check in with you
Mhm.
weekly.
Yep.
Let's see how we doing. What goals we working on right now?
Mhm.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
what I'm saying? How are we becoming better? What are we doing to be accountable for our time?
Mhm.
Because now that you're in it, it's a lot being asked of you.
Exactly.
And I need you to step up. And I need you to know that this takes effort and it's not on accident.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm your partner in this. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? I want you to grow. I'm investing my own time into you because I want you to grow spiritually. Because when you do what you're supposed to do and you're in
Uh-huh.
position, that family's even better off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But nobody's going to follow a leader who don't know how to lead.
Absolutely.
But I don't want you to figure it out in a moment. We got a whole 66 books here that teach
Yeah.
you how to be the leader that God's calling you to be. And I may be a little bit ahead of the road than you, but let me give you the playbook that I've seen,
Yeah.
some winning plays, and I want you to win yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then you can grow faster or help that person grow faster in their spiritual growth
Yep.
than even you did, because they won't make the same pitfalls that you made
Right.
Yeah.
because you're giving them the blueprints.
That's right.
The
You see what I'm
blueprint.
saying?
Very true.
They may not understand all of the these and the thous in the King James version, but you know
Right.
what? Hey, there's so many other versions
Yep.
of it.
Other
Matter of fact,
translations.
that app I just told you about,
Uh-huh.
you can change the versions in
Yep.
there.
That's it.
Yep.
The
Try the
Bible
NIV.
Hub.
You
Yep.
see what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Exactly.
Try all these other with New American Standard.
Yep.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? There's so many different ways to get this understanding,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
but they just may not have known.
Yeah.
You give them the rules, give them the playbooks,
Yep.
they can call winning plays themselves in their own home.
It's true.
And now they got a coach. It's
Yeah.
like going
Yep.
to the gym.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That's very
I got
true.
my little gym membership over there, and it's different. Okay, what am I going to do today? I'm going to work on this today.
Hmm.
But when you got a trainer,
Mm-hmm.
just
Yep.
like what he's saying, he's giving you the
All the
playbook.
blue. Yep.
You got that trainer.
Mhm.
He said, "Hey, here's what we're going to do. On today, we're going to do this, and
Mhm.
tomorrow, whatever." And he's going to talk to you about the workouts, the eating, and
Mhm.
all of those kind of things.
Yeah.
So he got the blueprint for you to try to get you to where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about.
I remember when I first came to Beach Grove Bible Church, the church I was at previously,
Mhm.
I was very active.
Mm.
When I came here, I didn't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to sit down and just be a worshiper.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But there was someone that had the ideal that we got just the place for you.
Mm.
It
Mm.
was an armor bearer. So my thinking is that when men come into the church, And in most environments, when you bring them to an environment they're not familiar with, but it's something they need to do,
Yeah.
if you give them something to do, a reason to come,
Yeah.
then you'll keep their attention. You'll keep them focused.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And that's what we have to do with the young kids.
Mhm.
Yep.
Give them something to do. Don't pressure them, but say,
Yeah.
hey, there's something that you think you want to do.
Yeah.
Rather be working with you in here,
Mhm.
work on Robert in sound ministry,
Yeah.
and what have you.
Mhm.
Work with Brother Partee,
Mhm.
learning how to do the message of the day or,
Yep.
or what have you.
Yeah.
Give them something that they want to do, but
Something to do.
don't pressure them because
Mhm.
that pushes people
Yeah,
away.
it's gonna
Try
push
to
'em
pressure
away.
them. Say, no, I don't want to go back there because I don't want to do that.
Yep.
You hear people talk about the little kids when they was younger. They always had to go up and do the little
Easy
Mhm.
speech.
Easter day, and then they got this one video with this little boy. I hate this church because he's tired of doing that. So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Exactly.
you got to give them something they enjoy to do, not something that you want them to do.
Right.
Teach 'em,
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah.
Very true.
All right, so let's go on to our next question, man. And this has been good convo, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah.
Y'all give
Oh,
us some
yeah.
good stuff,
Yeah,
man. I think the
definitely.
people
I've
watching are
enjoyed
going to have
this.
some good things to pull
Yeah.
from this.
Yeah.
All right, so next question. Dating without the intent for marriage
Wow.
has become normalized.
Mm-hmm.
How do we teach our sons and model ourselves a different kingdom-centered approach to relationships?
Yeah.
Billy, let me just start off that one.
Wow, man, that's a loaded question
It
for
sure
sure.
is.
Hey,
Yes.
it's a
You
real
know,
one, though.
Because with today's society, man, and it is just so amazing to me how things that we wouldn't even think about doing years ago
Mm-hmm.
has become so normalized
Yeah.
today.
Yep.
So normalized. And don't get me wrong, uh, I'm cool with, how people date in terms of do we meet in public or, or in person?
Yep.
Do you meet them online or whatever the case? Because you can meet crazy people in person just like you
Yeah.
can meet
Yep.
crazy
It's
people
either or,
online
yeah.
and things like that or
True,
whatever because, they lie on their profiles or whatever the case. But
Mm.
the bottom line is we need to get back to the Bible.
Mhm.
Yep.
We need to get back. We need a revival of masculinity in
Mhm.
terms of a man when it comes to dating and making that young lady his wife.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much on social media that's distorting their thought process.
Yeah.
There's so much online, even in the movies. Think about the movies we watch.
Mhm.
We all got Netflix and things like that. TV shows, whatever. It was a show. My wife was showing me. They're popping a balloon and this and that. They were this dating and all of that.
Pop the balloon.
Yeah. Pop the balloon.
Crazy.
It's
Crazy.
crazy. But these
Yep.
people are dating, and with no intentions of marrying or anything
Yeah.
or what have you.
Mhm.
And they have made it where marriage is not a sacred thing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we need to get back to that. So we don't want that to continue to be normalized.
Mhm.
So as men, again, as mentors and role models, is teaching these young boys, these young men,
Yep.
how to conduct themselves, how to treat a young lady,
Yeah.
and things like that. How and when they start getting to that age where they want to date,
Yep.
how to properly date.
Yep.
Back in the day, we call it
Courting.
court. How to
Mhm.
court that young lady
Mhm.
and be respectful to her and to her parents and things like that or whatever. That you asking her father,
Mhm.
you know,
hand.
for
Yeah.
her hand and things like that. Or even if you're gonna take her out, sir, what time should I have her back?
Mhm.
Things like that, whatever. But it's become so normalized. I have a 9-year-old granddaughter, and me and her dad and all my sons, we've already told her, look, you're gonna enjoy your childhood
That's right.
Mhm.
because a lot of the young girls are just growing up so fast
Mhm.
because things have become so normalized
Yeah.
in the way that we're doing things.
Yeah.
Instead of a 9, 10-year-old, 12-year-old girl focusing on you know,
Oh,
hey, her
boy.
school and sports and activities, you know, just becoming a young woman, they're already involved with boys and relationships and all of the craziness
Yeah.
that comes with that.
Yeah.
And so, again, I keep going back to that village.
Yep.
You know, men, we got a big role to play.
Yeah.
The women got a role to play too.
Mm-hmm.
Those mothers, those aunties, those grandmothers, you know, training that young girl up,
Yeah.
you know, and things like that. Showing her how to properly sit down, especially when she's wearing a
For the women,
dress
dress,
or
yep.
skirt and things like that, to be proper and ladylike.
Yep.
And the same thing for the men. We as men have to teach them young men how to conduct themselves, how to
That's
carry themselves. You know, the thing that really burns me a lot is that when I go out to places or whatever and I see men, I wanted to say young men, but guess what? It ain't just the young men anymore.
Mm.
I'm
Yep,
seeing men in their 40s,
Yep.
some probably in their 50s or
Yep.
whatever, pants sagging down.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not.
Yeah,
That you're
that's-
looking at that person
yeah.
and all you could see is their entire underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
I don't get that. So
Yep.
my first thing is, wait a minute. First of all, my sons would pass out. They would think Dad has really flipped. We got to go and we got to put Dad in this home,
Yeah.
or he needs some something. That if they saw their father, because I'm a role model.
Mhm.
Right. Right.
My pants gonna be up, my belt's gonna be tight.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it's such a, you know. So this is what the young men are seeing,
Mhm.
and these young men, they're going back to a home
Uh-huh.
that they got young boys. I'm pretty
Uh-huh.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
So this is what these young boys are seeing.
Just like
Yes.
them.
This is
Yep,
what
they'll be
their
just like
young nephews
Mhm.
and people in their family are seeing, and
Yeah.
they're thinking that that's what it is for masculinity.
Mhm.
Mm.
I got to walk around like that,
Yep.
cussing and fussing and beating on my woman and cursing her out and sagging and this and that. Come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
you know, we
it's
got to
not
be
right.
those a Christ-like figure
That's right.
to show them what. Hey, this is what true masculinity look like.
That's right.
Right.
That's
Right.
right.
The way you treat your spouse, the way you talk to her, the way you treat your children.
Yep.
You know, just because we the parents, that don't mean we just rule over them. No, I love to allow my children to speak.
Mm.
Tell me what's on your mind. So now let's talk about this. You know, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. And therefore, they learn to express themselves
Mhm.
without all that anger bottled up and things like that.
Yeah.
And they know how to deal with life situations.
That's right.
And that's what we need to get back to.
Yep.
Keith,
True.
what you got, bro?
First of all, my head must be too small because my head said keep moving up. I need to straighten that up.
That's how I'll be feeling. I'm like,
Oh
straighten
no,
this up.
man! It may be that
Well,
pillow, man. It
And
may be-
as the person without hair, maybe it's the hair products. I don't know, man. I don't have these problems that you
Oh,
all
my
have.
gosh.
I don't know what you're talking about. My head is staying.
It's that pillow,
on my
Keith.
head.
Hey, don't talk about my pillow. I'm going to start off with a scripture first.
All right, here we go.
1 Corinthians 7:9, it says, if they can't exercise self-control, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn
Mhm.
with passion.
Okay.
So when we start dating, we should be dating with the intent to get to know one another.
Yep.
Mhm.
Be honest with one another up front.
Yeah.
The situation may not end up being that it turns out to be a marriage relationship. But if we're honest with each other up front, we both have that opportunity to say, okay, you go your way, I'll go my way.
Mhm.
But what that scripture is saying is that in me, it's better for me to get married
Mhm.
because all of the benefits
Yep.
that come with me being married.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm married to my partner. I'm married to someone I love.
Mm.
I don't have to worry about what that person is doing. I get to go home to that person every day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I get to spend time with them, go on trips with them, worship with them.
Mhm.
And that is the benefit of being married. And they're forgetting about them benefits of
Yeah.
being married.
It's a lot of
You
them.
have to.
Mhm.
You don't have to worry about who your next date is.
Right.
I know who my next date is.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
I know who I'm going to have dinner with. I know who
Mhm.
I'm going to go to church with. I know who I'm going to have a conversation with, whether
Yep.
it be a crazy conversation, an argument, or whatever, and we're still going to be happy and love each other and keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going to have kids, I know who I'm going to have my kids with.
Right.
Yeah.
I know how we're going to raise them. I know how she is with God. I know how I'm with God.
Yeah.
So that's what the marriage is all about, and we have to get back to that. Now that word is for people that are God-fearing people.
Mm-hmm.
That's not for the worldly people, but we're trying to get that word out to them so they can understand it. Come and see what that's all about.
Right.
Right.
Come and see
Do
what
it
marriage is all
God's
about.
way.
Come
Yep.
and see what
Yeah.
God being godly like is about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hope they take that with just take that to heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would play devil's advocate with that. So this is what the world's gonna say to that. Well, I mean, it's just a piece of paper. I mean, it's just you just got a piece of paper, just getting married.
That's what they
I mean,
say.
I could just just shack up with her or be together. All that stuff was in place because it was literally me and my wife watched this one YouTuber, and she's dealing with a whole bunch of legal battles because of they were not married. They were just together. They built this YouTube platform up, and then now who gets the money? Who gets the house?
Oh, yeah.
Who gets
Right.
Oh, yeah.
this? If you had a marriage and then a God ordained marriage, and at that, you wouldn't have to worry about all that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything would have been all in order. Everything is in paper. So I think that's what a lot of people don't really understand when it comes to marriage. Those are also benefits as well,
Yeah.
is that it covers your butt on the back end. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, we're not perfect. And Lord forbid, one might step out or whatnot, and divorce might get in the thing. But however you're in that, well, not divorce, but if you're just shacking up, cheating or whatnot, now you have that benefit of like, oh, okay, we have this house. All right, it goes to this person, goes to this person. This money goes here. It needs to be a structure when it comes to that.
Mhm.
Yes.
So, all right, going back to the question, we just need to show how dope we can be in a marriage. Like
Right.
it has its great benefits, especially when it's God ordained. Just like what Brother Keith was saying, I don't have to worry about like right now. What's my wife doing right now? Let me check in on the where's she at?
Ain't
I
doing
don't have exactly. I
Don't
don't
have
have
to do it.
Yeah, I don't have to do that. I know where she's
Trust.
at. Yes, you have that trust,
Mhm.
and I think that's just what it is. A lot of that. Because a lot of people have been scarred, especially with the younger generation, because they're ripping, running, and doing
Yeah.
whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
That trust is not there.
Mhm.
So we need to rebuild that, and well, not rebuild. We need to actually show that as married people how dope it is, and also show them like how Brother Billy was saying, courting and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
what me and my
Oh,
wife
yeah.
we still called it that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
That's
We do
good.
old school.
That's
good.
We were dating, but we
Nothing
were
wrong with
courting.
that.
Like
Right.
we were getting to the we were courting for the intent of marriage.
There you
And
go.
that was the problem that with this other generation, with the newer generation, they're not taught that. They're
Right.
just thinking, oh, dating. Okay, that means just we get together, we have sex, and we just go out and have fun, and that's it. That's all we got. It's not iron sharpening iron.
Mhm.
You're not growing. You're not benefiting with one another. That's boring to me. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want something deeper. I'm a deeper type person.
Right.
And she in part taking into me deeper things as well as myself.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's just what we have to show. Truly.
Absolutely.
I got you. Okay, so when I look at this question, I actually have to go back to teaching them what it's all about.
Yep.
See, it's hard to date with intent when you don't understand what the intent of the wife should be.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? If I don't know what a wife is, how do I know when I choose this lady over here,
Yep.
she may be cute,
Yep.
right? But I don't know if she's a wife.
Exactly.
Life material.
And
Yep.
then the thing is, the Bible teaches, he who finds a wife
Mhm.
Find the good
Finds a
thing.
good thing.
finds a good thing.
Exactly.
So that means this chick was already a wife
Mhm.
before I made her a wife.
That's
Uh-huh.
right.
That means she had the qualities of what the
Yes.
Bible is asking us to see in a woman
Mhm.
that they should have,
That's good.
that is
That's
unto
right.
God.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
I see that as a possible suitor and be like, bet, that's a wife. She's not with somebody.
Mhm.
She dig me, I dig her.
Yep.
We can make this marriage happen. Now
Exactly.
I can date with intent because I see the wife in her,
Mhm.
but I have to first understand in myself what
What
is a
wife?
wife.
A wife.
Wifey.
Right.
And
Yeah.
not only just that, right?
Yeah.
The flip side, I gotta understand what a husband is.
Yeah.
See, because
Exactly.
there's no wife
Yeah.
that's going to want to follow a man
Mhm.
who doesn't understand what's going to be called from him as a husband and moving in that direction
Absolutely.
now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's got it all together at this
No.
moment,
Yeah.
but she should be able to see qualities and parts of you that are aligning with the Bible, and she could say, I see the biblical influences on this person.
Right.
I got now a chance to be around him a little bit, and I see
Yeah.
the daily things he's doing, his disciplines that allows him, the structures that he has in his world that allows him to become closer to God and be about his purpose.
Yep.
Okay, well, cool. I can hitch myself to this wagon here because
Yeah.
this guy's a husband.
Yep.
Now she's dating with intent. But it's that combination.
It is.
Right.
He can't be dating with intent and then choose
She-
a chick that's not a wife.
Exactly.
And she can't be dating with intent and choose a guy that don't want to be a husband.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But if we don't have instilled in them the principles of what that is, they're going out and looking, and I just see, well, she looked good, and I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, check and check.
Yeah. Check. Yep.
Well, no, bro, that's not it. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's a whole lot more that
It's
goes with
way
that. You see what I'm
deeper.
saying?
Exactly.
But if you don't look for those things, you could wife her, and then y'all not stay together because she wasn't a wife in the first place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And she may have played the role for a minute, but you didn't have the right intent going into it. You just saw the big booty,
Yep.
and you were like, "I'm gonna get
I'ma
that
get
before
that.
anybody else
No,
does,"
yep, yep.
and didn't put the time in to learn her, to
learn
court her,
Right.
Yeah.
and understand if she really is a wife.
No.
Have those conversations so you all are two on the same page.
Exactly.
So you can understand that we're going to live this thing in a biblical manner. It's going to
Yeah.
be God, man, women, child. We're going to do this thing the way the Bible calls
Bible
us to
states.
do it.
Yep. That's good.
And we're going to reap the benefits on our marriage because we're doing it the way the Bible teaches us.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? But if they're not doing that, and I say they because he has a role and she has a role,
That's right.
you can't do it with intent.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, you got to start from the beginning. Let's understand what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because just to bring it on home, I wear glasses.
Mhm.
I'm in the bifocal stage, right? I'm in the bifocal stage. So if I don't have these bifocals on, this will be sharp, and I look up here, and it's blurry.
Blurry. Yep.
My eyes aren't seeing what I should be seeing
You ain't by yourself.
because I don't have the tools on me teaching me to see correctly.
Right.
Yep.
So I know what looks right, what doesn't look right, and it corrects me when I'm looking out.
That's good.
So I
That's
don't
good.
see the wrong thing. I see things as they should
As
be
they
and
should
clearly
be.
because I got the right tools.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love that.
That'll preach,
Man,
y'all.
that's-
That'll
Oh,
preach.
yeah, that
That'll
would.
preach.
Right. And how do we
Right.
get to this point in our society that it's now normalized?
Yep.
They're just going to date. Don't necessarily know what the background coming from. Maybe he or she's been married before and divorced or whatever. But the bottom line is Christ should be
Yep.
the head of that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
there. If you center it all there around Christ,
Yep.
she's doing her part.
Mhm.
He's doing his part. Both of you giving 100% in this relationship because you're dating with the intent
Mhm.
Yep.
to marry.
Exactly.
And like Dion hit on, man, there's you can't just think about the right now. You're thinking about the future.
Yeah.
Future of building a family together.
That's right.
And building all those things that we call the American dream, But God is pleased in that marriage
Yeah.
because you're loving one another. You're doing all those things.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you one thing that marriage does also. It brings structure.
Yeah.
That's what
In
it
your
does.
life.
Yep.
It should bring
Yep.
structure.
Yeah, it should,
I'm
yes.
pretty sure that we all sitting here, we're all married men. And without our spouse right now, we would kind of be like a fish out of water right
Yeah.
now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Because it brings structure
Mhm.
to our life.
Mhm.
Think about when you all leave each other at the beginning of the day to go to work or whatever, and you're thinking about one another throughout the day, kind of like when you were just dating.
Dating,
When you was
yeah.
courting.
When you
Yep,
still got those
exactly.
tingly feelings and
Mhm.
things like that or whatever, and you're excited,
Yep.
to see her when she walked back into the house at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and just to watch each other grow over these years. My wife and I started when we was in high school,
Yeah.
teenagers. And we still have that love today. It'll be 40 years next month
That's
of
awesome.
marriage.
Yeah,
Praise
That's
God.
awesome.
And so that's the beauty of it. And Dion mentioned the benefits.
Mhm.
The benefits. You're going to keep dating that man, and then something happens to him or something happens to her, and y'all done put all this time in.
Yep.
And you probably got some kids too, but there's no marriage. And then what happens
Yeah.
when one of them pass away?
Yep.
Whether
Just-
they get sick or accident or whatever.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You're going to be fighting for
Pure
those
chaos.
benefits.
You
You've
are.
already earned those benefits,
Mhm.
Exactly.
you know. And so that's what marriage does. It brings structure.
Mhm.
Because there is no doubt if I fall dead right here today,
Mhm. Yep.
that wife of mine is well
Yep,
taken care of because
Mhm.
we have things in place
That's right.
There you go.
to sustain her, to make sure that she will not have to worry not a day in her life
That's right.
for how I'm going to do this or that or whatever the case.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that comes with marriage. It comes with structure. So get out of that new way of thinking of
Yeah.
dating
Mhm.
just to be in this relationship.
Yep.
It's about marriage.
That's right.
So let me ask this next question then. Do you believe the church is currently doing enough to speak into manhood, fatherhood, and biblical masculinity? And if not, what's missing? Dion, take that first one.
I mean, if you're speaking for this church, I mean, we good over here. You know what I'm saying? We already got, one couple feet out,
Yeah.
I mean, we ain't running, but, we doing a light little jog.
Make
you know?
moves and shakes. I got you.
Good.
So, I mean, for me, I don't really see other churches. I mean, I don't know about y'all. I don't really see,
I don't either.
at least with these mega churches or even middle type churches, I don't see them talking about masculinity, about that, how to be a man or how to do this, how to whatever. I think that's really what the problem is. I think
Mhm.
with the older churches, not the modern churches, that they taught that in the older churches about, how to be a man. Oh, this is how to be a man right here. Sometime it was in a wrong state. Because it probably was like, well, you tell your woman to cook you a meal and
Oh,
I
yeah.
better have me a meal today.
Yeah.
That's the only
Yeah.
thing about the older churches of how they were doing. But now we're, what you want to call it, evolving or
Yeah.
getting better at teaching these type things. So I would
Right.
think that the modern churches would be, having this on point, I mean, we know what to
What it
do.
would think.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. You would think we would be there. So, I mean, I would love for these modern churches to teach that. I think it would change the world for sure, especially with the churches with bigger platforms.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Keith?
Yeah. I agree with Dion. I said I believe that we here at Peace Grove Bible Church, we're doing that.
Mhm.
We're teaching manhood, fatherhood, masculinity. Our problem is that we haven't created enough opportunities to get outside the walls of the church
Mhm.
Yeah.
to teach the same principles
Gotcha.
to those outside of the walls.
Mhm.
And that's what we have to do. We have to create more opportunities, whether it be joining up with other men organizations or churches or men
Yeah.
groups or what have you, to make sure we're reaching more. We're putting ourselves in a place where other men from outside of the churches can hear what's going on in the church and see that masculinity among us. We can go in there in tank tops and blue jeans. We don't dress up in suits all the time in here. I mean, this is a place that, our pastor, he come in, he may catch him in a sweatsuit anytime you want to.
Yep.
I don't think he even likes suits anymore. So if, he
Yeah,
do put
really.
one, and if he do put one on with a tie on, he'll put it.
The
take it
tie
off
usually
before-
don't make it
Yep.
through the service.
Yeah,
It don't make it to the surface.
Take this towel.
They can see that. No, we're regular men. So but
Yep.
that's what we're lacking at.
Yeah.
We're lacking that we're not getting it outside of the walls, and we're doing that right now. We're trying to get it outside the wall, but
Yep.
we have to join up with some other men,
Mhm.
churches, organizations to make them opportunities there for us to reach out to those. Have some gentlemen that I work with that they go to. They do a lot of food giveaways,
Mhm.
and that gives them an opportunity to minister to men
That's awesome.
and women, of course. And so that's why they have created opportunities to get a chance to get into the face of men and give them a word. You have all kinds to come up. You have some that
Mhm.
are mad at the world. You have some that are just in need.
Yeah.
Some are just there because they're with somebody else. But it's an opportunity
Yeah.
that was created because you're doing a giveaway.
That's true.
Mm,
That's good, man.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
Mhm.
good.
absolutely.
Billy?
Yeah. My first answer is our church, yes, is doing enough. And we're going to continue to do more
Yes.
to get this thing across
Yep.
about godly manhood, about fatherhood. The church as a whole, are they doing enough? No.
Yeah.
No. And here's my thought process on that. I was brought up in a way where, coming up in my family, my grandfather, my uncles, and even the way I raised my children.
Mhm.
And then I was a soldier in the military. And one thing I learned was every soldier has a sergeant.
Mhm.
They taught us that in our first primary leadership development course.
Mhm.
And they say, stay in your lane.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get it. I understand sometimes we have to go outside of our lanes
Mhm.
when we see something that's gone awry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. But for the most part, that's when if I turn on the news and things, and I see stuff going on in this city, in this state, in this country, or whatever, my first thought is, where are the men? Where are the fathers?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
And when
right.
I say men, it can be the men of that church,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Mhm.
Yep.
the men of the community,
Mhm.
the grandfathers,
Mhm.
the uncles, the cousins. Some mature person got to get your arm around these family members and say, hey, we're gonna do better than that.
Yeah.
Here's another one of my thoughts on that. Beach Grove Bible Church, we do an awesome job with all of these topics that we've talked about on
Mhm.
this evening.
Mhm.
And we're gonna do more and we're gonna become better.
Yeah.
But I said when we stay in our own lane, because how many of you love a good old pitcher of Kool-Aid, just the way you like it?
The right sweetness.
The right sweetness, the right flavor, red, huh?
Yep. Gotta have
That
that
is
red
the flavor
Kool-Aid.
too. It's red.
Right.
Not strawberry.
Not no strawberry or
watermelon.
cherry. Yep.
Red.
But how many of you know that sometimes when you put a little too much water in it, it gets watered down, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't get the full flavor, that full satisfaction
Yeah.
of what you are really thirsting for, what
Mm.
you truly need.
Yeah.
And so I'm very careful with when we step outside and try to spread ourselves too wide.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
That's true.
I got you.
Very true.
Because again, every soldier has a sergeant.
Mhm.
So if I got these 10 in my squad, these 10 belong to me. They're in my unit. We're part of the Army.
Mhm.
If I take care of these 10 right here to make sure that they are dressed
Yep.
in every area of the military, we're good to go here.
Mhm.
And this sergeant that's next to me in the next section, he got his 10 or 12 soldiers and he's lockstep with me.
Mhm.
You see how it flows?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Everybody. So that's why I always say it starts at home.
Uh-huh.
So if the parents, those fathers will get in their rightful places,
Yep.
and even if the father's not in the home, there's a grandfather out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely.
That young lady got a father, that young lady got an uncle,
Yeah.
or she got brothers.
Yep.
Because the brothers are the uncles.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We need to get in our places as men,
Yes.
Yeah.
as a whole.
Yeah.
Because when the men that's trying to do all these right things and to bring these kids into play curfews and all of that,
Mhm.
we're spreading ourselves so thin.
Yeah.
Guess what's going to happen in the place where we are really serving? Things going to start to
Lack.
fall.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
going to
Lack.
lack over here.
Yes.
So we got to be careful. And so that's why I say that, we just got to be those role models, those fathers, not just biological, but those the spiritual fathers, those spiritual guys. It's a preacher on in the city. Y'all probably know him. What's his name? Hezekiah or Malachi or whatever.
Just sound familiar.
He does these programs. I don't know this guy. I just see it on the news, and I like that. I like that what they're doing with those young people or whatever. That church got that outreach.
Yep.
That all summer, those young men, those young women, instead, especially focused on those men, they're not just out doing normal sleeping in all day because school is out. No, they're in a structured program.
Yeah.
And it's teaching them life skills. It's teaching them how to be godly men
That's
and
good.
men of God and things like that. And it's keeping them out of them streets.
Yep.
But it's teaching them how to be a good citizen, a good person. And therefore, God is pleased with you,
Yes.
young man, that you're going to go on and grow up to be a very blessed, productive young man.
That's good.
And that's what it's all about.
That's
Yeah, I
good.
love that.
Okay.
I love that about that spreading, yourself too thin.
Mhm.
I think a lot of these churches, and that's why a lot of them do fail, because they're moving too quick. So they're like, oh, we want to start outreach, food pantry, missions trip, this. And it's like, you got to start with the basics
Yeah,
first.
you can't
Right.
do all of it at one
you
time.
gotta build that foundation.
Yeah.
And just like you were saying, stay in your lane. Right now, if you cannot do that, well, God understands that. And he will send the funds or whatever you need to be able to grow to get to that spot to where, okay, now we can have a food donation.
That's it.
Actually at the church, or now we can have a mentorship with men, like a thing where they could come in or whatever. So I love that, not spreading yourself thin. That goes for anything.
That's
Yes.
good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll answer this quick then and keep it moving because I kind of agree with a lot of the things you all said. I believe we're doing some things here. I believe we got more to do.
Yep.
At the end of the day,
Right.
no matter how much we're doing here, we have to do more because we have to reflect more light. And the thing about putting light up in darkness is that it could be a small flame and it could still show off a lot of light
A light.
because that's just what light does.
That's right.
And as long as we're doing what we're supposed to do, God working through those efforts
Yes.
does the rest of the work.
Mhm.
And we got to just continue to stay in the fight, continue
right.
to stay organized, continue to work with other people, like you're saying, other organizations. And
Yes.
we try to build the kingdom and not trying to build our own separate empires.
Yes.
And I think with us doing that, God blesses the effort and makes everything else happen.
Yeah.
He's the one that gives the increase at the end of the day. We're supposed to plant. Somebody else may water. He gives the increase.
Yes.
That's right.
Absolutely.
All right. Next question. We're getting close. We want 8. We got 10 questions. This one's a little long, y'all. Y'all keep sticking with us, man. We got some good combo, all right?
Good meat. Good meat.
But this
Yeah.
is something I really want to make sure we hit every point, all right? So this next question. What kind of rites of passage, mentorship, or discipleship processes could we implement in the church to help boys transition into godly men?
Good.
Dion, let you start that off, bro.
Okay. I think sort of like what we're doing here. I mean, having a men's ministry, having our youth, just like I was saying, having that youth ministry, having different organizations where they can actually come and learn different, trainings and how to be a man, how this is how a man should operate and things like that. I just think that that's what the modern churches are starting to lose from is more of this just entertainment or whatnot. And it's not about entertainment. It's not all about this flash. I just seen a minister today. Actually, I sent that to pastor, not today, but a couple of days ago. That it probably could have been during the youth ministry. I don't know, but he's up here playing Nintendo. So I'm just like, he's like, oh yeah, I love Nintendo, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm transforming, I'm whatever. And then he like goes in the back and then they have this big old screen and he turns into the Mario character. So you see himself and then it's literally just this symphony of Mario sounds and stuff like that. And then he like goes through the little Mario tube and comes back out. And then it's like this celebration of him. Where's the celebration of Christ? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what is this? What is this? Is this entertainment? Or are you guys showing me how to be more like Christ? Or are you showing me how to be more like a man or whatever?
Sure.
So I think that's what we're getting away from when it comes to this modern day churches. It's more about entertainment. And I understand the entertainment brings, the bag or whatnot. And we shouldn't be on that. We need to be about Christ. Because Christ, if we be about Christ, Christ is going to bring us the bag.
Yeah.
So
Jesus supply.
exactly.
Yeah.
Deke?
Yeah. When I seen this this question here, I sort of thought about work. When you ask, but what can we put in place to help our youth grow, our men grow? At work, we have what we call teams, different teams that do different things. And they rotate new people coming in into different teams to learn different areas of the manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And if we could put in place a rotation type where young people or whoever would want to rotate from one ministry or one ministry to another to
Mhm.
I
learn
like that.
what that ministry is all about,
Yeah.
and give them a chance to figure out where they really want to be at,
Yep.
what ministry they want to focus on, what
Yeah.
ministry is going to be for them.
Mhm.
So that's what I would think would be a great idea for them to rotate, rather it be you bringing them into the circle of the podcast periodically or what have you,
Mm-hmm.
back there with the guys that are producing, or in the sound ministry on Sundays, or in the pulpit doing something or what have you,
Yeah.
armor bearing, ushering,
Yep.
which we do some of that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the structure is totally there for us to rotate somebody around that wants to be rotated to try to figure out
Yeah.
what they truly
What
want
fits
to
for
do
me.
in the church.
Yep.
What fits me.
Okay. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. Billy, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I think that that the church should have some type of structured program to help these young men, into this godly manhood thing. Because if we got something that's structured, especially, when school is out. I know they're back in school now, but it shouldn't just have to be when school is out, but just, just put it in place.
Mhm.
And then whatever this structured program is, I mentioned what I saw on TV by the preacher Walker or whatever. And then there should be some like rites of passage, of so therefore we can celebrate milestones when these young men achieve certain milestones in this walk,
Yeah.
in their Christian, in their manly, Christian manhood.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what those things are, that's a good discussion that we can sit down and put some things in place.
Mm.
But that is a good program, I believe, that all churches should try to adopt. But again, with this society that we live in, we lose focus on what's really important,
Yeah.
because it's about the celebrity, the celebrity of that church and that
Yeah.
preacher and things like that, that we take our eyes off what's really important,
Main focus.
and that's Christ.
That's right.
And we're raising up the people to be those Christians, those followers of Christ, to be Christ-like.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about. And we can never, get that far gone that we lose that focus, because that is exactly what it's all about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Okay. Okay. And I like all of the things you all were saying. I would only add on top of that, I think we should do two things. Number one, I like gamifying things. I like you to get rewards for hitting certain milestones,
Yeah.
and we celebrate those milestones with things that happen.
Right.
So it's like you're working towards something and doing the things that you're doing that's kind of aligning you to learn the principle you should have and to embody
Yeah.
by the time you're asked to be a man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're moving you in that direction as you're a young boy into young manhood and into a man, and we have a way of gamifying this thing,
Right,
and there's
engage
points
it.
you rack
Yeah,
up. You
there
see
we
what I'm
go.
saying?
Yep.
Those points turn into rewards you can change in, and it gives you something like a dopamine hit of feel good because I'm hitting the
Dopamine.
things that I'm supposed to be doing as a man.
Exactly.
So not only just I'm growing in the things that I'm going to be doing and what's being called of me, and there is a positive hit with that. But we gamify it a little bit, and I think that'd be a cool little thing.
That sounds like an app that needs to be made.
Well, I mean, come on now. I'm already thinking. I'm already thinking. The other thing I'm thinking is that have you seen the movie The Forge?
Yeah, I have. I've
Don't
seen
think
that.
I have.
If you haven't seen the movie The Forge, it's a great movie.
It's a
First
good
of all, it's a
movie.
Christian movie. But it's about a men's group and a young man coming into there, and they have a process that they put him through. And I was like, that is really dope. And they gave him a sword at the end, and that he hangs on his wall, and it's
Right.
to commemorate all of the hours and time and things he's done, moving in their process that they had. And now he has this thing he can look at on his wall every day that shows I have went through the passage and now I'm a better man because of this.
Yeah.
And this is a daily reminder I can look at that I've hit the mark. You see what I'm saying? And I'm continually moving forward. I hadn't arrived all the way there, but
Right.
this lets me know I'm moving in the right direction. And I'm in a band of brothers who are also doing the same thing. I think if we can implement something like that here, I think that'd be really cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
If you remember, I don't think that young guy was in the church. I think
He
his
was not.
mother something was trying to get him to start going to church,
Mm-hmm.
and he was trying to sweet on this girl I think it was a coffee shop or something.
Yeah, coffee shop.
And her father was the owner or something. I can't remember how that all went, but he was also the leader of that. If I'm not wrong, he was the leader of that group of men.
Yes.
And each one of the men had a child, a young man that they was mentoring.
Yeah.
And so I forget the whole story, but I've watched it. But that was a really good
we ain't
show.
gonna give it all away. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
You need to go see
That's
it. If you haven't
awesome.
gone see it, go see it. Trust me, it's
and I
worth
tell
the
you,
watch.
Yeah, that sounds
That would be something
Forge.
very awesome that if we can put something together like that in our church and other churches across the city, if they can adopt those things, because I'm gonna tell you guys, man, one of my distinct honors, in my life, in my career as a soldier, is when I was a drill sergeant, and rites of passage,
Mhm.
because the soldiers had 9 weeks from the day we pick them up until they graduate. They're not soldiers until the day they graduate.
Mhm.
And those first 3 weeks, we call that the red phase, total control. We're there when they wake up. We're there. We put them to bed. There's a drill sergeant everywhere they go.
Wow.
It's total control. They can't even think on their own, basically. We're training them because we're breaking some old habits
Yeah.
because we're turning them into soldiers now.
Mm-hmm.
And after those first 3 weeks, they go into the white phase.
Yeah.
We back off a little bit because they got it a little bit now. They understand the structure here and this and that. They understand the policies and the rules, and they're following. They're going to be in this for the next 3 weeks. And then after that, 6 weeks, they go into what we call the blue phase. And they also carry a banner. Everywhere we're marching, you can tell, oh, they just started. They got a red banner. Oh, that unit got a white banner. And, oh, those are big boys there. They got the blue banner. They're about to graduate. They're almost there.
Gotcha.
And so it's those rights, a passage. It's the privileges that comes with those rights. The privileges. You got phone privileges now. Now the platoon guide can march them to the PX to get their personal hygiene items, and to the barber shop. The drill sergeant don't have to be with them on that. So that is a great thing. If we can put something like that together for our young men here, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I like that because it's as men we want a purpose. We want to work towards something.
Yeah.
So seeing that, whatever the prize may be, I mean, if it is maybe it's a gaming system or something like that.
Yeah.
That way, that's something that they can always look back on, like, dang, I actually worked hard to that.
Oh yeah.
And I feel better.
Yeah.
I really actually feel better. That was great.
And it's gonna stick with them for years to come because they're rooted now.
In
something.
Exactly.
I like
I love that.
Okay. All right, 2 more questions for you guys. All right, 2 more questions. So this next question is, how do we break generational cycles of abandonment, emotional detachment, or poor fathering, especially when that's all a man has ever known?
Wow.
Keith, come on, man.
That's a rough one.
That's a heavy one.
and when,
That's
heavy day.
when it's a generational cycle that's been going on for generation, and a young man haven't had any guidance, and all he see is his father and his grandfather come home with a woman or with their pants hanging down and drinking and hanging out in the street on the corner and not going to church and just doing all kinds of things, gambling. They may be going to work, but they just doing all the things that we as godly men wouldn't think of doing.
Sure.
It's we just got to be there for them. We just got to be ready to mentor to them when we get an opportunity. Show them what a godlike man would be. That's a really tough question. That's a really tough situation to be in when you generational cycle of not having a man of God in your household. There got to be somebody. We got uncles and aunts and cousins and what have you that are people that are in church.
Yeah.
You never get an opportunity, or you just never take that opportunity. So we just got to be ready to bring them in and show them love. I mean, I said that before, and it's just a rough
back
thing.
to that love.
It just comes back to it. I mean, that young man in that movie. I mean, I think I was talking about outside of the walls. We got to be able to reach outside of the walls. That's how we grab a hold of them that are stuck in that cycle, a generational cycle where they haven't had that role model of a godlike man.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Dion, what you got, bro?
Yeah, just like what Brother Keith was saying. I mean, that's hard. That's even if you're with your finances or working out. That's an internal thing that you have to commit to and say, I am going to break this generational cycle. I may stumble while trying to break it, but I'm making an attempt to actually trying to break this cycle.
Right.
And it's just, I think a lot of people, they get comfortable in it. I mean, it's in anything, you know, working out or whatever, you get comfortable in, this is how it is. This is life. I guess this is what God wanted or whatnot. And it's not. He called you for a higher purpose than that.
Exactly.
And so I think one thing we could really truly do, since that's an internal thing, because you can preach them until you turn blue or die or whatever. And if it's not that internal change, that's that 180 in your mind, that, all right, I got to change this, you're not going to change. So the best thing we could do as Christian men, or just in Christians in general, is just to plant that seed. Literally plant that seed and show how we operate. And truly, hopefully, that they'll see how we're operating and be like, there's something, they seem like they're blessed, seem like they're happy, they ain't got no stress in their family. Everything seems like they're operating very well over there since they're, living in a godly way. And hopefully that will rub off and they would be like, all right, I'm about to break this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Billy?
Absolutely. Man, that is an awesome question. Think about it like this for a second. Let's say many people, they go and they get them a brand new pet, okay? A brand new dog, about 6 weeks old, or 8 weeks, whenever that time frame that you can take them from the mother, right? Therefore, you can train them just how you want them.
Yeah.
Okay? That's going to be a loving, kind dog, just a protector around the house, not going to be a mean dog, just a big old teddy bear, per se. But then there's people who like to go and adopt, older grown dogs or whatever. So when you adopt and you have your own option, then you're going to adopt all of those traits or whatever, because you don't know the background that dog came from.
Yeah.
Did they have this dog fighting? Did that, was this dog doing this or that or whatever? So the first thing that we need to do in this situation, when we're talking godly manhood, is we need to identify, we need to recognize, but then address the root causes of this pattern of behavior.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because when we know what that root cause, because all of us come from somebody. That DNA, that blood, and oftentimes we don't know, why do I act a certain way? Or why did this person act a certain way? Why did this person do that? They have this habit or this knack of doing this. Well, that's when, the true work begins. When you recognize those patterns of that behavior, find out their root cause. There's going to be some discussions. And that person may even have to go through therapy for them to pull that out, to see what those root causes are, to make them be the way they are.
Yeah.
And then once we go through that therapy or that counseling, you got you a mentor, somebody strong, that's going to help you in your walk with Christ.
Mhm.
They're going to get you on some type of structure of reading and studying the word, and you're becoming that person's mentor, that they can sit down, they can open up to you about their true feelings. You're not judging them or whatever. But then that's for them to have conversations with their families.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because their families know them.
Mm.
And the families know them triggers too.
Uh-huh.
And so the family know that you're trying to be a better person.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be Christ-like. I've given my life to Christ. I want to be this godly man. So they know, don't do that right there.
Yep.
Don't trigger that person in that. And then guess what? Along that process, that's going to be some hiccups, right?
Mm.
That old man going to jump up in you again, whatever
Mhm.
that old man thing that you do or whatever.
Yep.
But don't just beat yourself up and kill yourself about it,
Yep.
because it's a process.
Yeah.
Process.
It takes time.
Mhm.
Old habits, old things, especially if it's just innately in you.
In you.
Yeah.
All of us sitting here on this panel, we come from somebody. You come from a mom.
Yep.
And you come from a father, right?
Mhm.
And so you have that DNA. And so you got to, it's like you got a spouse. And I guarantee you, when you came together, it wasn't always like it is right now. It took time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Time.
Because
yeah.
you had to learn one another.
Mhm.
You met her people.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yes, you-
see why she act like this
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the same thing with you.
True.
Yep.
She's
True.
around your people.
Mm-hmm.
And she see that, oh, my husband be doing that same thing
Mhm.
right there, whatever.
Facts.
And it may be something that she don't like or whatever.
Mhm.
And so that's when the respect come in, and because we all want to do better.
Exactly.
I can tell you, when my wife and I first got together, man, it's like she was coming from her side of the family. I'm coming from what I was raised up under.
Mhm.
And we used to clash a lot
Yeah.
because I come from a family of strong men that they were men of their homes. They
Mhm.
took care of their homes. They
Yep.
took care of their families and things like that or whatever.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, that man, what he said, that's how I was going to go.
You'll go. Yep.
Well, she came from an opposite, where the women were strong
Mhm.
in the family or whatever. And so, but when she got to really know me and I got to know her on those levels, the respect came in and things
Mhm.
like that. And
Yeah.
you understand triggers, and we don't do those triggers or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's
And
true.
then slowly, man, now you guys have come together, like Pastor breaks it down all the time, is that, when you get married, you become one. It don't mean
Yeah.
that you,
Yeah.
boom,
It's a process.
automatically. It's a
Exactly.
process.
Mhm.
So it's going to be the same process with this man, coming to grips with his masculinity when all he's seen is bad fathering.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we can only let our minds just imagine some of the bad fathering he's seen
Mhm.
in his father
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
All of the bad things that he's seen that the men in his life have done. And a lot of that stuff is kind of in him because he's been seeing it since he was 1 year old.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And now he's 35.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's well rooted in this.
Mhm.
And so it's a process.
Process.
But it can happen. That
Yep.
transformation can happen if we
right.
follow the steps
Mhm.
and be patient with that person. Don't judge them and just work with them and love on them. And before you know it, most of our preachers across America, they have a testimony.
Amen.
They haven't always been the men that they are
Exactly.
now.
Amen.
The
Yep.
same thing
Facts.
with all of us here.
Same.
Amen.
We got a
Amen.
testimony.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Yep. I like
Well, I'm
that.
gonna keep it real short with my answer, and that is to keep it real with them. All
Yep.
right. At the end of the day, what you're going through don't feel good.
Mhm.
Let's be real.
Yep.
There's some things that's happening that you don't like. You want your kid to feel the same way?
Mhm.
Mhm.
You want your daughter to feel the same way? Your son to feel this way? No, because you didn't like it.
Exactly.
So let's start being better. Let's start working on the things that's going to give them a better childhood and put them on a better path than you were placed on,
Yeah.
because you get it.
Yep.
You lived it. and none of it felt good.
Yeah.
All right, bet. Who's going to start this change?
Yep.
Who's going to turn it around for the family? Why not you?
All right.
Why
all
can't
right.
you be that person, that rock that's held the family? Yeah, we're going to
Mhm.
be better, and I'm going to lead by example, and I'm going to lead us into better generations after me because
right.
you all will follow my lead because you'll see what I'm doing and the outcomes that it's having.
Amen.
But you got to make this happen.
Yep.
You got to be strong enough, and I'm going to help you do it.
Yeah.
I don't want you to figure it out by yourself. You got a group of men you around. We're going to help you figure this thing out. We got a
Absolutely.
whole 66 books of Bible we can
Yep.
actually pull from that gives us the pathways of life.
Mm.
I just want to show you how to navigate that joint.
Yeah.
And then when you do that, I know you'll do well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But let's do that for your future. Let's do
Yes.
that for your future seed.
Yeah.
Because you know how it felt to do what happened with you.
Right.
You knew what happened to your father.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or you heard
Already
stories about
see
what
it.
happened with your grandfather when they
Yep.
grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's not repeat that process because we already seen this happen
Mhm.
2 and 3 generations
Yeah.
into
Exactly.
you now.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to say the buck stops with me.
Yep.
Right.
Got to break the cycle.
Break that
Absolutely.
cycle.
Yes.
That's it, man.
Real straight, real straight.
That's
good, that's
it. You
good.
guys have heard me say this many a times. My father, before he passed away, and years ago, because when I would go home to visit or whatever, my kids were all, they're with dad, because we didn't have girls, so they're not hanging out with mom. They're with their father,
Uh-huh.
And we took my father somewhere to take care of some business, whatever. And as we driving, he said, "Man, I'm so proud of you." He
Mm.
say, "How did you become such a great father?"
Mm.
Because he knew, I knew what he was saying.
Yeah.
He knew he wasn't present.
Yeah,
He
yep.
knew he wasn't there for
Yep.
all of that.
Exactly.
But I told him, "Hey, man, I learned a lot from you." He knew what that meant.
Mhm.
Yep.
What
But
not to do.
right.
He
But I
knew.
had
He
role
literally knew.
models. I had
Yeah.
people in my life, my grandfather, my uncles, but I had the church.
Mhm.
The church.
Being of the
Because
church.
that's where I really got it from. When I
Yeah.
got into church, man, and got around godly men,
Mhm.
men that embraced me,
Mhm.
men that helped me to find my niche and to come into that man of God that God had been calling for me years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's what it's all about.
I like
Very
that.
true.
I like that. So, last question. Thank you all. You all been rocking with us for a while. Okay. All right. I know this one's going long, man, but it's our last question. And I want to end it with this. If you could give one advice to a single mother raising a boy, what would you say to her? And what would you say to the boy? D,
Yep.
end it out for us.
So, single mom, I would just let her know, try to keep a good father figure in that child's life. Whether if it's you are dating / courting for marriage or whatnot, make sure that man that's present around in this child's life is a man of God, first of all.
Amen.
Mhm.
And two, make sure he is a true man. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't care how old you are. You could be 70, but you can still have boy tendencies. Make
Exactly.
sure that he is a man of God and make sure he is following as a true man and a leader. He has leaderships and stuff like that. Because that'll just make sure that that is not messing up that child's life.
Yeah.
And that also, I should say also that child should also have patience for the father or or vice versa with that father. He should have patience for the child as well.
Mhm.
But that way he's open of like, all right, I know I'm not the father, I'm the stepfather or whatnot, but I'm open to learn. I'm here to help you through this.
Yeah.
And then for the kid, I would just want to just partake in wisdom. Like I don't know if I said that a past podcast or whatnot, but I had prayed for wisdom when I was 12 years old. I literally, read the book of Proverbs. I read
Yeah.
all of it when I was 12 years old, and I thank God that I am wise in a lot of situations.
Mhm.
So I would want to partake that into that child's life,
Mm-hmm.
and to
Alright.
make sure that he or she or whatever it has that structure to be like, all right, I can make it in life. Man, he told me about this. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So I just want to, make sure that they have some type of structure in their lives and stuff like that. So that's what I would definitely tell both of them. So,
All right. Keith?
Yeah. Boys to Men said it right when they said, growing up can be a pain.
Yep.
Uh, it can be a pain.
Yeah.
It can be a pain for the mother.
Mhm.
I would tell her to be patient.
Yes.
Understand that he is growing into his own.
Yep.
And boys by nature are inquisitive.
Mhm.
They want to know what's going on. Uh, they want to see this world.
Yeah.
They're still trying to find themselves. I had an ROTC instructor when I was in high school that said, you smell yourself.
Mm.
They
Know what
get
that
to
mean?
they get to smelling themselves, and
Mhm.
Yep.
his actual word was that you smell yourself, you got Bloody Mary in your pocket, and you think you're bad. That's what he's saying. So and when they get to smell themselves, that's a different step.
Yeah.
She's got to be understanding that he is smelling himself, and
Yeah.
he's wanting to date, and wanting to be around these young ladies, but she's got to try to guide him.
Yeah.
She can guide him with her life,
Mhm.
and at the same time, she can help him to channel his energy by finding something he can focus on,
Mhm.
some activity she can put him in, or what have you.
Yeah.
I would tell him to respect his mother,
Mhm.
Yep.
show her you love her, tell her you love her. Find something yourself where you can channel your energy.
Mm.
Hang in there. Things will change.
Mhm.
You need to have a godly man in your life. Go to someone that is a godly man, because he's going to give you the best godly advice he can give you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There may be other men that are worldly men that will give you advice too,
Mhm.
but we all have wisdom as we get older.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We learn as we grow.
Yeah.
So that's what I would tell him
All right. All right. That's good stuff.
and her.
Yes.
Billy?
Well, for the sake of time, I'm going to give you a short version.
Oh, wow. I know, right?
Now, to that single mother, I would be straight to the point, and I would just simply, lovingly and kindly, I would just simply let her know to enjoy the journey,
Good.
be present,
Yep.
for that child.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, because life goes fast. These kids grow up so
Amen.
fast.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And being a parent, man, is such a unique and rewarding experience, and it's going to take a lot of love, dedication, a lot of care, you caring for that child and all of that.
Mhm.
And what I will also tell that young single mother is that you're not in this journey alone,
Mhm.
because there's many just like you.
Yeah.
But I will also let her know that there are resources out here,
Yeah.
and there are systems in place to help her
Mhm.
navigate this life of single motherhood.
Amen.
True.
And I would do that out of love and out of compassion, and to show her that I care with my words, and let her know that I'm here if you
Mhm.
need me. My wife is here. Our church is here for whatever you need. And then to that young man, that young boy, I would simply tell him to embrace it.
Yep.
Embrace your feelings, and also express your feelings. And the reason I would tell him that, because when he embraces them and he expresses them, it's going to allow him to grow. He's going to mature.
Yeah.
Because now he's having a chance to talk about how he's feeling
Mhm.
and able to express himself. Have you ever talked to yourself and you gave yourself the answer? Like, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it right there. But he's going to be talking to somebody, some godly man that's his coach, that's in his corner, that's got his best interests at heart.
Mhm.
So embrace it. Embrace them feelings. Talk
Amen.
about it. Learn
true.
from all of this. Grow. Become a better person. And just remember that you got people, man, in your corner that love you. And your
Amen.
number one supporter is that mother of yours, that
Amen.
single mother.
You're always
Yeah.
going to be there.
Yep.
Amen.
Very
Amen.
true.
Amen. That was the short version, y'all.
Yeah.
Stop, I love you, man.
Could went about 10 minutes.
He's just like a pastor, ain't he?
Right. That's that pastor short
Right.
minute. No, but for real, and I will make this short because again, we've been going at it for a while, man. And just to be respectful to the time, really quick to the mother, I would say your actions will dictate him even having a harder time doing this or an easier.
Yeah.
You got to make sacrifices to make his road easier.
Amen.
Period. And then I would turn to the boy and say, being a man is hard.
Yep.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
The hardness will make you the man you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
You're supposed to go through tough stuff. You're supposed to learn how to overcome things.
Okay.
And that will make you the man you're supposed to be. So if it's tough, cool, because you need the tough. Start early being the man you're supposed to be.
Yep.
And you'll actually become it. Time is not on your side.
That's right.
And we expect a lot out of you. And the woman who will one day become your wife will need all that you put inside of you and all that God helped you to become to lead that family in the way that you're supposed to. So start early becoming that man and watch what God do through you.
Amen.
Amen.
That's facts right
Amen.
there.
Yes.
All right. So that's all my questions. 10 hard-hitting questions. Gentlemen, I appreciate your perspectives, your
Man.
thoughts, your insight, your words. I am hoping allows our viewing audience here to be able to glean from this and grow.
Amen.
And that's what we want to do at the end of the day. We want to make sure that this podcast, men are growing, that families are growing, that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing as men of the church because we're stepping up to the responsibility. And we're one conversation each time trying to make that better,
Amen.
trying to give out the good that God's put in us to make his light shine throughout this world. So I thank you all for joining us today. Please like, share, subscribe. Share this video with somebody who needs to hear it. Trust me, there's a lot of guys that need to hear this. A lot of
Amen,
ladies that
definitely.
need to hear this. Okay.
Share.
I think this one help us go viral with this one because
Yes.
again we want to get this good word out to some people. Okay.
Yep.
Again, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by December this year.
Yeah.
I think we can do that
Oh, yeah.
with
man.
your help. With your help.
Amen.
All right. So again, join us in the next conversation, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you again for joining us on Disciple Men Podcast. We hope that you got something out of the conversation, that we brought some value to you. We're trying to do something over here, and we need your help to do that. If you could, please like and subscribe. Share the video with a couple friends. We want to make sure to get this word out. Help us men to step up to the road we're trying to do for the family, for God, for the community. We need your support. Look forward to you in the next one.